Hello everyone. I decided to keep this live up, so if you're watching it back today, tomorrow, next week, whatever, you get to see it as it is live happening, and there's no like awkward pauses or like me waiting for people. And honestly, if you hear a lot of noise in the background, I go to college, I live in a college town, people are always loud and rowdy, and I mean, you know, it's annoying, but I can't bring my Scorpio 4th house with me everywhere. So it just is what it is, but we're talking about my vivid dreams I've been having lately because I tweeted about this and I found out that a lot of you guys were actually having really vivid dreams lately as well, which I think is so cool how we're like all so connected and like oddly having all really vivid dreams at the same time. But I think it's more of a like, I don't want to say like a global thing, but I think it's all like a whole like astrological situation. I don't know, not astrological, but like everyone's going through it, you know, like it's a cosmic type situation maybe. And guys in their trucks, don't you love it? Don't you love guys in their loud trucks? Welcome to Louisiana, baby. So basically I'm just doing my makeup and I'm talking to you guys about, you guys can like send me questions, or I'll just talk about my dreams and the return of lovers and Leo season and stuff like that. But it's just me doing my makeup because Shania Twain, I'm going out tonight, I'm feeling alright. No, but it's Saturday and you guys were like, yo Ava, let's do lives on Saturday, and it's kind of late in the day. I probably should have did it a lot earlier, but today was one of those days for me where I was just like, listen, I'm just gonna chill and let life happen. I don't know. But if you're used to the lives, hey, then you know that we get into deep conversations at random points in the live, and it's so funny how I go from like, this is so like whatever, to like, wow, this is really deep and we're really talking about deep stuff, and then I go, okay, never mind, I'm not gonna save the live anymore. Because I can't. It's just like, I feel like lives are one of those type of situations where it's like you have to be there. Hi Christina, hi Amaya, hi Antoine Nash. You always come into my lives. I love to see you guys come in all the time, that I start to like recognize you guys' names, and you guys have been like supporting me for a long time. I love it. So there's always questions open. You guys know how this goes. You can always ask questions whenever and I'll answer them. But also I want to talk about my vivid dreams because last night I had such a scary dream. You're in love with me in my YouTube videos? Thank you. Thank you. I'm going to try to move this a little so that I can still see you guys. I'm mowing, just taking a break right now. Oh, wow. Mowing the lawn. I'm glad I'm not a guy. I used to like watch my grandmother. She used to mow her own lawn, and I used to just like watch her mow the lawn from like inside, and I used to be like, oh my god, that is so horrible. Like, not like, I just hate outside, okay? So any activities that are outside, I'm just like, it sounds horrible, I don't want to go. I'm more of a like a nighttime type person. Like, I only go outside at night because like it's normally cooler at night, and like, I don't know, but I normally like stay inside during the day and then I come alive in the nighttime. But this is me priming my face with powder because I find that my face, yeah, when I put on my mask, it goes on a lot better when I have powder on. And I used to do this a lot when I was like a freshman and in high school, but for some reason I stopped, and I don't know why, but whatever. But my dreams last night I had a nightmare. I woke up at 3 a.m. and I was like in sweats. I was like sweating, and I was like, oh my, and I literally slept in this last night. For some reason I just like slept in what is this, a sweatshirt and like pants, and I normally don't, but my brother, he's a Libra, and I picked him up yesterday and he's like staying with me, so like I was just like, you know, let's, I don't know what I'm saying, but I had a dream that like I was like, and it's so sad because I don't want to talk about it because it's like, clearly it's like one of my fears, but I think it needs to be talked about for a second. And you guys know, like, I get political sometimes, but like I think more so it's more of like an ethical thing more than like a political thing, talking about like the things that are going on in Mississippi and just what Hispanic people in general, or people like, it's like everyone, but like majority of the people that are being targeted are Hispanic people because of the whole build the wall situation. And it just made me so sad, like as an empath. Like I was up last night after I had my bad dream, and I was just like in like a deep sadness because I was like, this is not right, this is not fair. Like there's like, I can't even imagine. Like imagine being like 3 years old, or not 3 but like 8 years old, and you're coming home off the bus and thinking like your mom's gonna be there, like help you get off the bus and like fix you food, or whatever the things that moms do, or like help you with your homework or whatever. And you get home and you knock on the door and like nobody's there, and like you never know where your mom is, where your dad is. You don't know when you're ever going to see them again or whatever. And it's just like so sad to think about. Like I understand that there's a law and stuff like that, but law does not excuse what's ethical, or like what's like human right, like what's right, you know what I'm saying? Like there's so many laws. Like for example, I can't talk, the electoral college was a system designed that which is basically say it doesn't matter what the public votes, it matters what this small group of people would vote, because I guess George Washington or whoever didn't want they didn't think the people were smart enough to like choose its officials, so they had like the public vote, but they also had the electoral college so that like the wiser people or the people in power basically can elect whoever would be president next. And so like, yeah, and like that's the law, right, that we have to go with the electoral college. But is that like ethically right that we as humans, not humans, but we as citizens or like of America don't really have say in who our leaders are, you know? It's kind of fucked up. And it's also fucked up that like, yeah, there's a law that says you can't come here illegally or whatever like that, but like, is it right to say that people who are suffering in their own home place can't come to try to make their lives better? And then I know some of the argument is like, oh, they can come make their lives better, they can just apply for citizenships. People wait like 25, 30 years and spend thousands and millions of dollars just to become a citizen, just to stay here, just to have a better life. And I don't think it's fair that we just so happen to be born here. Like I think about that all the time. We're like 1 in a million type of people to be born, whether you're in the UK or whether you're in Canada or whether you're in like, you know, Spain or like even America. Like it's 1 in a million. Like you could have been born in Africa, you could have been born in Saudi Arabia, you could have been born in Mexico, Brazil, or whatever. You know how lucky we are to just be born here? And then it's like, what are we saying? Like people aren't allowed to come here to try to have a better life? I don't think that's ethically right, and that's not morally right. And we as a country who's like built upon God, like, you know, God is whatever, like trusting God, you think God would like be happy with America like exporting people, from taking people from their children and having children come home to no one at home, and punishing people for wanting a better life and crossing borders and risking their lives to have a better life for their children? Like I get there's a law, but that doesn't mean that it's ethically right. And I wish that people would see that. And I know that there's like a whole thing about like, I don't even want to talk about political parties because I hate that there's political parties, but I just feel like, you know, it just really hurts my feelings that like, there's like so many kids like coming home to like no one at home. And I was thinking, I was like, you know, in neighborhoods there's like pedophiles in neighborhoods, like you're registered sex offenders. So like think about all those like pedophiles, like not even to say like people who were once pedophiles will always be pedophiles, but like there's a bunch of kids like coming home off of the bus to no one at home, and there's like pedophiles or rapists or sex traffickers or whatever. You think they don't know that this is happening, so they can go up and like round all these kids up? And then who's gonna report them missing? Their parents will know, because ICE has their parents. Like you don't like, and I also think about when it comes to like killing people and stuff like that, and death and whatever, even like wars and stuff like that. You guys realize that like this is our life, like you breathe and die and like and everything like that, and this is your one life. And so imagine your life ending randomly one day, and like that is your life. Like that's how I see death, as like, and like murder and killing. Okay, now my live is frozen. Can you guys still see me? Because my live is frozen on my screen. Because of course when I start talking about political stuff it messes me up, right? Like I can't. Yeah. But you can hear me? It's frozen. Wow. You know, love that. Freedom of speech, right? But you guys can still hear me. You can, am I back? Well, I guess we don't have freedom of speech anymore. Because I noticed this even like when I'm in other people's lives. When I'm in other people's lives who talk about like real stuff, I notice like once they start talking about real stuff, it starts to freeze as well and starts to get messed up, which is, I don't know, it's very upsetting. I wanted to get on live and I wanted to do like a big thing this morning, but I was like so sad, you know. I was just like feeling all the pain in the world and like everything, and it's just so sad. Like, I don't know, like I wanted to do the reading, I wanted to do all the things, I want everything, but I was just like, I can't come on here and like fake and be like, oh my god, hi guys, like da da da, here's your love reading, da da da, because it's just not me. Like, I'm not a fake person. Like, if something is wrong with me, you can read it all over my face. No, but it's not even funny anymore. Like, we don't even have like freedom of speech anymore. Like, people are getting like you guys know conspiracy theories now. You know how they used to make all those videos online? Do you guys know that it's now a law that if you like make a conspiracy theory, you're now considered a terrorist because you're making like claims against the government? Freedom of speech is like literally disappearing. Like, you guys, like, that's crazy. Like, we're not in the same times anymore. Like, things are weird and it's quite scary, honestly. But I mean, I don't know. I don't know what we can do. I don't know. I don't know. They're gonna ban me, lol. Maybe. I don't know. But I don't know. I guess we can talk about astrology in my video. But like, my dream literally was about police brutality and like me being afraid for my life. So I mean, I don't know. But what do you guys want to talk about? We can answer some questions. We can talk about how the Leo returned. But just know there's some really sketchy shit going on, and the age of Aquarius always exposes the truth, because Aquariuses thrive off the truth, and so expect the truth to be revealed. Also, the neck and the face, listen, we still got a contour, okay? So what do you guys want? Okay, do you guys want to know? You guys already know about like the Leo, right? About all the things. Like, I've been talking about the Leo for forever and ever, like on this channel. In the Aquarius in Love video, I talked about the Leo. In the Love of Your Life podcast, I talked about the Leo as well. And a lot of things. I don't know if you guys, the older people definitely know about the Leo. Maybe not the newer people, but I don't really know. The Leo returned. So that's a thing. But I don't know. Where are you guys? I can't see your chat. I don't know. I really wanted to come on here and have a great live like I did Thursday and like make it a thing, and we were talking and having so much fun, but I'm literally just not like present. Like, I'm just like not, I'm not, look at that, see? I'm like just not like in the mood to be like fake happy right now. It's just like a sad time, you know, and I just hate that like things trend for a day. Like, the fact that like all this stuff was trending for a day when it was happening, and then you go on Twitter and like now it's like it never happened, and like literally people could just get away with things by like watching things blow over because America has like a short ass attention span of the world. And it's just like, yo, but this still happened and we still need change, but like people move on, so it's sad. But the Leo returned the other night, and it was a situation. It was one of those situations where like, you guys know how you kind of make progress and like you change your life around and you're like, okay, I'm done, and then like someone pops back up into your life, and then you get all like frozen, and it's like everything that you like work towards like doesn't really matter, and like your guard gets put down, and you're just like, but I care about them and I like love them, and like it's so annoying because it's like me talking to my Aries moon, because the thing about it is my Aries moon, I literally, I have like, you guys know, you guys have your sun, your moon, and your rising, right? So I know when each one of my my three main like aspects, but like placements are coming out. I know when my Aquarius sun is out. I know when my Aries Mars is out, not Aries Mars, my Aries moon is out, and then I know when my Leo rising is out. Usually when I'm doing YouTube, yes, it's literally a test. No, so literally guys, I know, okay, listen. Usually when I'm doing YouTube videos and stuff like that, my Leo rising is out. I can talk fluently. I'm good. I'm like I just rolling off the tongue. I'm like having fun. I'm not shy, whatever. But like when I'm getting really deep into like astrology and stuff like that, my Aquarius sun is out, and she's a little awkward and she's a little weird. She's like, I just want to be your friend. And then when my Aries moon is out, it's usually 9 times out of 10 when I'm like out and like lit. My Aries moon is out and she's making decisions and she's in charge. Have fun mowing the lawn. Come back later. I'll probably be on here because I stay on live for forever for some reason, because we like get into like really deep talks. So usually when I'm lit, my Aries moon comes out, and let me tell you, Aries are on a mission. My Aries moon is always on a mission. She's always ready to make decisions without consulting the rest of the team, and it's just like I can't control her. So when the Leo pops up in Leo season on the Lionsgate day, what do you want me to tell my Aries moon? No, like I just can't. So like of course I fail the test, and I'm just like, at first I'm mean because the Aries moon is mad. She's like, get away from me, like I don't like you, like stay away from me. But then the Leo does the Leo thing, and then he's just like, hey, and then he's like, you know, like, and then she looks at the Leo and she's like, oh, but like you really care about him and like all this stuff like that, so like don't be mean to him. And then she lets her guard down, and the soft side of the Aries comes out, and it's all like, oh, give me a hug, like I miss you, like let's talk. And so then like you talk, and then you realize that you're like, okay, maybe you should make an impulse decision, and that is my Aquarius sun talking, like, okay, let's not make an impulse decision. So I'm just like, calm down, like let's not. But then, you know, the Aries moon is just like, but Haven, like you just have to, like you just, like you care about this person, and you just all these things, and she's on a mission. And so like, what do you want me to do? What do you want me, like I don't know. So I mean, nothing happened, but it was definitely a moment of weakness where I was just like, maybe so. And it's like everything I worked so hard for went down the drain. And then my Aries moon started crying. She started crying. And, you know, it was a moment where, like, you know, you have to ugly cry, but then, like, you move on and you realize that you're a bad bitch, and that, like, you deserve better, and that you are better. And it just becomes a thing that like never happened. So if anyone asks about it, it never happened. It was just like a whatever thing. But like of course I had to tell him. I was like, listen, I was like, if you act a fool like this right now, just know we are over for forever, and never talk to me ever again. And so that was said, and so he said okay, and now we're here. No, but it's fine. Like I'm fine, because like I'm fine. I think if I wasn't fine, I would be so sad right now. But like, we don't cry, we don't do goodbyes, we just keep it pushing, like, ay, ay, ay. You know what I'm saying? So, let's talk about somebody else's love life. What do you guys got going on? Someone else, the ex, like, come back? Or like what? Like, I don't know. I had vivid dreams last night. I've been having vivid dreams lately, and I kind of like it, because it kind of feels like, okay. This may sound crazy, but I was talking to someone, or I was reading something on Twitter, and this person was like, whenever I go to sleep, it's like I die for a minute, but then like I wake up and I'm back in this reality, because like when you go to sleep, it's like you're dreaming, and you're in this like elusive type reality where it's just kind of like whatever. And some people are really good at their dreams, that they get to like control them. And so I was just wondering, I was like, does anyone else feel like that? Especially when I have vivid dreams, I feel like I'm entering like a whole different reality for like a small period of time, and then I wake up and I'm like back here, and I'm like, oh, so like that wasn't real, that was just a dream. But it like freaks me out, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, yo, like what? So I don't know, but your love life is dead right now. You know, I'm trying to keep mine dead. Your Libra just called? Oh my god, yes, block them. Hello. Linda, hey. Yes, exes, you know, I don't know. I think Mercury still may be in the shadow, but that's prone to happen right now. And the thing about it is you have to be strong. How do you tell when you're in a vivid dream? I know vivid dreams for me are dreams that are extremely real. They're extremely realistic. They're like things that could have been happening like in real life. And I kind of just, it's usually when I wake up and I remember like every detail of my dream and it just feels so real. My dad's a Leo, my mom's an Aquarius. Wow, that is beautiful. I love Aquarius and Leo together. It's just, you guys want to know why the Leo got mad? Dare I tell? Dare I tell? Do I tell my friends why the Leo got mad? I mean, I swear I would call up my girlfriends and be like, girl, listen, what happened? But like, I don't know if you guys want to know the tea. What about lucid dreams? Lucid dreams are basically when you're like dreaming in a way that it's like real and like you can kind of like control like what's happening in your dreams. Like you're awake and you know you're dreaming. Like I once was like dreaming and I was like, Haven, you're dreaming right now. But like some people get so connected to their dreams that they can control their dreams, and I think that's lucid dreaming. And then like sometimes I had one time I was in my old apartment on campus, and I had one of those dreams where I came out of my body and I was like looking at myself sleeping. Like I was I was like, what is it called? It's called something. I can't think of it what it's called, but it's like when you're like, oh my god, I want to say it starts with a P. What is it called? You know when you like get out of your body, you can look at your body and like you could walk around and then like you come back in your body before you go to bed. What is it called? I know you, yes, yeah, like kind of like an out of body experience, but it's like when you're sleeping. Yeah, you're like sometimes you're flying and you're lucid dreaming. Is it that? I don't know. I feel like it starts with a P. Oh, I really need to Google time travel. I want to time travel. You guys know my favorite movie in the whole entire world is my time traveler's wife, astral projection. No, it's not astral projection. It's something else. It's like, I talked about it to my mom the other day, and it's like, okay, so let me tell you guys what happened. I was like, I took a nap because like, you know, it was like finals or whatever, and I was, you know, laying in my bed and I was like super tired. I don't know why. I was like drained and exhausted. I think because at that time I was like a student leader or like vice president and stuff like that. Sleep paralysis. Yes, that's the word. Paralysis. Yes, I knew it was a P word. So like, listen, I was like super tired. And so I took a nap for a second and like I don't even remember falling asleep. All I remember is like I remember like seeing myself laying down sleeping, and all of a sudden my bed turned into a black hole, like a chair that was like slanted. And so like as I was sleeping like this, I was like falling into like this black hole, but like I kept like falling, and I was like looking at myself and I was like telling myself, Haven, like wake up, wake up, wake up. Like, and I was trying to like reach for my phone and text my friend Barbara. I don't know why I wanted to text her, but I was just like, I need to text Barbara. I need to text Barbara and tell her what's going on. Like I'm freaking out. So like I was like reaching for my phone, but like I was like having paralysis, so like I couldn't really grab my phone, but I was like telling myself, I was like, Haven, wake up, wake up, wake up, you have to wake up, you have to wake up. And so literally I guess like I like woke myself up and I came back into my body and I was able to wake up, and I was like so like messed up. And lately I've been like having dreams where it's just like, it's like I'm sleeping and I know that I'm sleeping and I'm just like halfway awake, halfway asleep, and it's been really weird. And I'm just like, yo, what's going on? Like I don't really know what's going on, and it's been really scary. What's the difference between that and a nightmare? A nightmare, I say, is something that is like, in my opinion, I would describe a nightmare as something that's like scary and that it's like a dream, like something that's not really like that you're really aware of. It's just kind of like a bad dream, you know. Like I would call a nightmare and a bad dream is like something that's like really scary. Like say you're afraid of clowns or whatever, and then you dream about clowns. That would be like a nightmare, you know what I'm saying? Or like, you're like, say like you like you get in an accident in your dream or something, I would call that like a nightmare, or just something that's like really scary and something you're scared of. The sleep paralysis thing I was just describing, I guess it's kind of a nightmare, but it's more of a sleep paralysis thing because I was aware that I was dreaming, and I was aware that I was like coming out of my body. You know, I think nightmares are something that you're not really aware that is a dream, like while it's a dream, but when you wake up you're like, oh my god, that was a scary dream, I'm so glad it's not real, you know. And it's weird, like, I don't know, dreaming is so weird for me because it's kind of like we're leaving here, because like our bodies are still here, and in essence when you die you don't really take your bodies with you, because like your body stays here, like you get buried or whatever, or cremated. So it's like when you dream, it's like your soul is like traveling to like this other dimension, and like you're having a dream, you're having an experience. And it's weird. It's just like kind of, it's like really weird. Like, do you guys realize how weird dreams are? And it's like people, like, you know, as a psychology major, people say like dreams are like what you see, and it's like all up in your like subconscious mind or whatever about what you dream about. And literally it's so weird to think, it's like, it's kind of like that girl said on Twitter, like dreams are kind of like dying, or like being dead, but like coming back here. You know what I'm saying? Because in essence, like when you do die, you don't take your body with you, but your subconscious and your soul leaves, right? It's just that it never returns back here. But when you dream, your subconscious and your soul goes somewhere else, you know, but you come back. And it's weird. It's really weird. So when you think about people who like go into comas and stuff like that, they're kind of like dead, quote unquote, but they come back here when they wake up from the coma. Like their subconscious goes somewhere else. And it's kind of like the same thing when you're dreaming, but I guess it's like, you know, you have unfinished business here, so you're not dead, but like, you know, you're going somewhere. So it's like every night we kind of like, I guess you would say dying is so final to say, so we don't really die, but like we have that like subconscious traveling situation. That's a good question. I guess our subconscious would go to like a different dimension, or like a different reality, or whatever our brain conjures up. It's really weird to think about. Like I've never really like said it out loud and thought about it like that, but now that I'm saying it, it makes a lot of sense, doesn't it? It's like, and even like dying in essence, it's like, where does your subconscious go, you know? Because where does your soul go? And the same thing is like when you're sleeping, where does your subconscious go? Candyland. I want to like, you know what's so weird? So weird. And I blame like the Lion's Gate and whatever that's going on with like the spiritual stuff, where people are talking about with the triple Leo situation that's going on lately. People who I've been thinking about, like, you know, I want to manifest, or I want to like talk to, or whatever like that, or not even like talk to, but like people I'm thinking about, like if I want to see like my grandmother, like my dad or my brother or something like that, and I'm like manifesting seeing them, or them coming to visit or whatever, I start to dream about them, and then literally within the next day or two I like hear from them, or I see them, and it's been like really weird, but I think it's really cool because for a long time, like before I like, how do I say this? At one point in my life, I was really good at manifesting. Like when I first got into it, I was really able to focus because I did a lot of things with like charging water, and I meditated a lot, and I was like really focused, and I didn't have a TV, so like I didn't really like watch what was going on television and stuff like that. I was like really in tune to like the soul and astrology and all that stuff like that. So it was really easy. It was really easy for me to manifest things. I was like really focused, and then like I kind of fell off the track, and then I guess that's what you guys can say. I went through that like dark mode or whatever like that, where I was just kind of like disconnected, and I like wanted to be alone, and you know, as Aquarius we go through that, and so I wasn't able to really manifest that much, and because I kind of like lost sight of my like intuition, and I didn't believe in like my intuition anymore. Like I thought like I was like, okay, I'm gonna sound crazy if I don't tell you what actually happened. So basically what happened is like when I was with before I was with the Leo, you know, I was really confident. I was like, yes, I'm manifesting. I'm into the spirituality stuff. I'm starting to learn the truth about all this stuff like that. I'm good. I'm golden. I believed in myself. I was able to manifest people or things whenever I wanted to. Like at the back of my hand, and snap a finger. Like I'd be like, I want to hear from the Leo. Manifested. The Leo would text me, right? I'll talk about it. Yes, because I wanted my brother to manifest with me last night, but it just didn't work out. So what was I talking about? You guys know. You guys know, like, I'm so bad at like keeping up with what I was talking about. so I was with the Leo, and I was like, you know, really good at manifesting and all that stuff like that. And so I was really sure of myself and confident, all these things. And so then when stuff hit the fan with the Leo, and like I was being told that like I was crazy, because you know, like when when you think a guy is like cheating on you or like talking to somebody else, you're like, no girl, you're just crazy, you're being dramatic, like nothing's happening. And so you start to like doubt yourself, and you're like, oh, maybe I am just making stuff up, or maybe I am crazy. I was talking about this in the last live. When your intuition or when your soul tells you something is wrong, you need to listen to it, because like you know, your soul will always say always say the same. You always have that gut feeling of knowing when something is wrong. So when someone's telling you like, and you like love them and you want to believe that nothing's wrong, you start to go like, oh man, like maybe I am tripping, maybe I am making stuff up, because like, you know, that's how the psyche works. And so I started to like doubt my intuition and doubt myself, and I was like, maybe I am making stuff up, maybe I am just seeing stuff, maybe I am crazy. So I kind of lost that kind of power of like manifesting and stuff like that, because I stopped believing in myself and stuff like that. And so for a long time I wasn't able to manifest things, or I didn't really care to. I wasn't really interested in manifesting. I was just like, you know, letting life happen to me or whatever, and just going with the flow, whatever. And so it was really like a pivotal moment for me, like a happy moment for me, when I was able to like get my confidence and intuition back, and starting to like trust in myself a lot more, and be like, oh well, I wasn't tripping the whole time, and I manifest something and it's working. So like I'm all back together, I'm all back full circle, like I'm not doubting myself anymore. And so I was able to like manifest things and manifest people like back like I was before. And I really hope like me seeing that Leo the other day didn't fuck with that. But you know, you just gotta like make sure that you're trusting yourself. So manifesting tips. The thing about manifesting and like the law of attraction and like, you know, the secret is bullshit. Do not believe the secret, okay? The secret is meant to fuck shit up, because it's just, I would give examples, but I'm not, because it's hard to explain. So manifesting, I say basically what you do is, why are you retracting your message? I saw it. Watching. No, but manifesting, I'd say basically you find something, what you want, especially now. It's a good time for you guys to like write. And I need to do my makeup every time I stop talking, because I'm not really good at multitasking. Like as an Aquarius, I don't know if it's just me or like whatever, but like I don't have the emotional capacity to like focus on more than one things at a time. So it's just like, if I'm doing homework, I have to focus on homework. If I'm watching a show, I have to watch the show. Like I don't even get how people like watch shows in the background and like do a different thing. And I'm just like, yo, how are you able to like watch a show and then like, you know, I'm just really bad at multitasking, but it's just like too much going on. I'm just like, no. So what was I talking about? Manifesting. Okay. So I forget. I'm like spacey up here sometimes. No, I'm kidding. I'm not spacey. But manifesting, what I was saying was, it's a good time right now for you guys to like basically journal and like journal your life out. Like say what you want in like 5 years is to be like a millionaire, and you want to be in a yacht or something like that, or whatever you want, whatever your ultimate goal is, right? So what you would do is get out your notebook, get out your journal, your dream journal, whatever you use, and it's a good time for you to write. So I woke up this morning in my yacht, and I grabbed tea or whatever. Like write your life out. Do you think Aquarius naturally have ADHD? No, I wouldn't say that at all. So write out your life as if it was already real. Like you know, like whatever you want to do. If you want to be in Hawaii, or you want to be in like Ibiza, like I really want to be in Ibiza, what you should do is write out your journal as like, this morning I woke up in Ibiza and I jumped off the yacht into a boat, and this, like write your life out as it's happening. Like make it as, and write it as it's real. When you're writing this, if you want a certain person or a lover to be with you, write it out as if that person is with you. But I would say probably not a good idea to like write out a specific person. Just write like, oh, my boyfriend or my husband was with me, and or my girlfriend was with me, and we had a great time in Ibiza, or we cashed in our first $1 million check, or whatever. Just like write out your life as if it's already happening, because it's easier for you to convince yourself in like your mind as if it's already playing out for you. And that's a really good way to manifest, as if things are already happening for you, because manifesting is all about believing and making things happen from within by already feeling like it's real. Because my thing when I manifest a lot is like, what I do is I think of a thing that I want. If I want $1,000 or $1,000,000 or whatever I want, and I don't really care about like materialistic things, so it's hardly ever like I want new Jordans. But like, if that's what you want, more power to you, do that. So I think about something that I want, and then I picture it as if it's already real. See, that's the part about it, is like you have to make it as if it's already real. You have to train your subconscious to have things, or to be with things, or to whatever that you already want. You have to make it real. You have to see it. So I close my eyes and I visualize it as if I already have it. Like, say I wanted a new car. I picture myself with the bow on the car, like taking the ribbon off the car and jumping in the car, like, yeah, this is my new car, you know? Like, I picture that. I make sure it's real. Or if I want someone to think about me or to talk to me or whatever, I picture myself in that person's mind. I hardly do stuff with people, but like, if that's what you want, you know, whatever, do that. And so once you see it, as in you're visualizing it in your head as if it's already happening, then what you should do is think about how it makes you feel emotionally and display that emotion on your face. Like, say you want $1,000,000 or whatever. Now that you pictured that $1,000,000 into your bank account, you have to conjure up or like express that emotion, how you would feel when that $1,000,000 was in your account. So you start to smile, you're excited, you display what your reaction would be like if you open your bank account right now and if it was $1,000,000 in there. So you'd be like, oh my god, I'm so excited, and you let that like display on your face. And you might look really like crazy and silly like doing that, but it works. So once you do that, it's basically like you're putting in your order. If you watch Amber Khan, you know about like the fountain and like the universe, not the universe, the best restaurant. And so it's like you put it in your order, putting in what you want to your brain or to your subconscious or to the restaurant or whatever. Yes, you have to do the emotional part, because emotions are so connected to like your insides and like who you are and like the subconscious or whatever, that you have to like put the emotional thing on it. So after you do the emotional thing or whatever like that, you're putting in your order, whatever like that, you have to let it go. This is the thing that a lot of people mess up on when they're manifesting, focusing on it, like wishing and keep thinking about it. Like, I know, like, for instance, like I did a tarot reading for someone, and so the card said like this new guy would come into their life who was like the King of Pentacles, and he would like change their life and like give them all this money and like take care of them and whatever like that. And so once I told this person that, all they kept doing was focusing on this guy. Everywhere they looked, they were like looking for this guy, this King of Pentacles guy. So like, it's kind of like when you're putting in your order to like this restaurant. I'm gonna use Amber Khan's example. You guys know The Quietest Revolution. If you haven't, you guys should listen to her podcast. But I'm gonna use her example because I think it's amazing. It's kind of like you go to this restaurant, you get in, you put in your order, which is you putting in what you want or whatever you want to manifest. And so your order goes to the kitchen once you put in like once you display what you want to manifest, right? And so it's kind of like when you keep thinking about it and when you keep looking for whatever you put in your order for, it's kind of like you going back into the kitchen and like knocking on and looking at the chef like, yo, like, you know, when's my order gonna get ready? When is my order gonna come to me? When is my order like that? You think the chef is gonna want to give you your order right away if you keep it like annoying him about when is it gonna come? When is it gonna come? He's gonna be like, no, bro, like sit down, relax. I'll bring your order out to you when you're ready. So you keep annoying the universe. You keep annoying your subconscious about when is this gonna come? Like, where's this guy that I asked for? Where is he? Where is he? Where is he? You know, it's gonna take a lot longer to get to you than it could have been if you could have like placed in your order, sat back, relaxed, hung out at the restaurant. Basically, it's you continuing on your life without annoying the universe about what you wanted. So you think about what you want, you make the emotional expression, you fully believe that it's yours, you visualize that it's yours, and then you walk away. You let the universe handle it. You let the order go to the kitchen and you let it come out as it should. You have to let go. You can't focus on it. You have to be busy. You have to be distracted. You have to do whatever your own thing. You have to go to work. You have to have hobbies. You can't be like looking for it at every corner because it's not going to come to you because you're annoying it. You're pressing the button like 10 million times. Like, where is it? Where is it? And it's just like, yo, I'm gonna give it to you when I think you're ready, and if you keep annoying me about it, I don't think you're ready for it. So that's the thing about manifesting. And then once it comes to you, you say thank you. Or even if you like, even if it hasn't come to you yet, once you finish manifesting, you say thank you God, thank you universe, thank you energy, thank you whatever you believe in, and then you let it go and you continue on to your life, and then watch it come to you. It's always happened to me. I've never like manifested anything that hasn't came to me. I live in a place where thing I want can't happen. Then manifest you in a different place. Life is, oh my god, I need to stop being empathic right now, because I want to be so happy and so excitable and like, oh my god, guys, but honestly, I'm just like not feeling the vibes because I'm kind of sad right now. But yeah, that's how you manifest. That's how you get whatever you want. Because, you know, guys, and I'm gonna get back into politics if I keep talking, but like, we as humans, we have a lot more powers than we know, and we were programmed through school and stuff like that to focus on things that don't matter. Because I read about like this school that they have in like Asia, where like they teach children at a young age how to manifest and like how to meditate and stuff like that, and those kids tap into like their psychological powers. I don't want to say powers because that sounds so like fake, but they start to tap into like, you know, manifesting and stuff like that at a young age, and they become like in tune with like what they're able to do for their lives. And we're way more in control of our lives and have way much more power than we know, because we were taught to focus on English and math and all this other shit that doesn't really matter, instead of like focusing on ourselves and like what we can really do and how we can dream and lucid dream and control our dreams and stuff like that. Also, which is, let's go back to dreams. So I literally had this girl DM me, and she said she dreamed like she had me, like I was in her dream, and I thought that was so cool, because I've had guys like, the government are trying to hide our ability. I don't want to say the government is trying to hide our abilities, but you know, I can't really talk about that kind of no, but like, I don't want to be a conspiracy theorist or anything like that. Is there anything you have found helpful to remember your dreams? I pray in the morning and night, but I've started a little inconsistent, to be honest. Wait, what did it say? A little inconsistent, it doesn't work like that sometimes. Meditating is breathing work. You know, every time I start to meditate, I fall asleep. Like, I usually try to breathe at nighttime. I seen a college just like that on Google. They had financial aid too. What? I can't really talk about that. You need to. I don't know what you guys are talking about. What do you mean financial aid, college situation? I don't know. But remembering dreams sometimes is really hard. I have a dream journal. I have like a notebook that I like write all my stuff in. But I'm really bad at it too, because when I like experience like a vivid dream, I like to like think about it. I like to like, I don't know if you guys haven't noticed yet, I'm like a hyper analytical person, and I picked this up from like if you guys listen to the podcast, the social anxiety morphs the shadow side, you guys will kind of understand how I like became like a hyper analytical person. So whenever I have dreams that are like extremely vivid, I like to just focus on like what just happened, like what did I just experience, what did I just dream about. And so I really try to like replay what happened in my dream, like in my head, like as I'm awake. And so it becomes a thing where it's just kind of like I forget, like it starts to fade away. And you know what else, you can ask your ancestors and angels and stuff like that to help you remember. But I often feel like, you know, the ones that you're supposed to remember, you will remember, you know? Like, I don't know, I feel like the ones that you wake up and you totally remember are the ones that you're supposed to really conscious on. But I do think it's good to like literally keep a journal by your bed, and as soon as you wake up, jot down what you saw or jot down you remember. And it's so weird, I have dreams, like I'm pretty sure everyone does, that they like wake up and like I like dreams that I'll never forget. Like, I had this one dream I had when I was like 5 years old, and basically what happened was I don't know if it was me driving or my brother driving, and we were in the car, and it was like we stole the car, like a car, and it wasn't like a car that none of us had, but it was like an old blue, like 1985, like convertible car. And my brother or I was driving the car, and we drove the car off of a dock, or like a deck, into the water. And it was really weird, and I like woke up out of a dream, and it was crazy. Like, I'll never forget it. Yeah, dreams are weird. Said to like write down your dreams. I think it's because I think your subconscious tries to tell you stuff, or like help you out with stuff or whatever. And I think that it's important to like write those things down, because you can probably find out things. Just like I was showing you guys my artwork in the last live, I think that, you know, a lot of like dreams and stuff like that subconsciously have to do with your past life possibly, and stuff like that. And I also want to talk about like astrology and religion for a second, if you guys want to get into that. But like I said, I hate getting into stuff that is I hate getting into stuff that's controversial, but I feel like people who don't want to talk about controversial stuff, it's just keeping the things controversial, because I feel like the only way for things to not be controversial is for you to talk about them and for there to be perspective on it. But I mean, so I want to talk about religion and astrology for a second, and try to keep an open mind, because I personally have an open mind about everything, and I think that that's a good thing to practice, because people get so caught up in what they believe that they don't want to hear other perspectives, and so you always stay the same if you don't allow yourself to be open to new ideas. And yeah, people get a lot of sensitive about what they believe, and I think it's because they don't want to believe in anything else, because they want their lives to stay the same. And I kid you not, for the longest time I was so afraid to get into astrology. I was so afraid to, you know, get into tarot cards or anything, because I was like, I like this simple life that I live, about believing in God and believing in Jesus and believing in heaven and hell. And don't get me wrong, I still believe in all those things, but just the consistency of saying, this is my religion, this is what I believe, this is like, this is what I believe, and life is easy this way, believing and stuff like that. Like, to even entertain the idea that there may be something else or something bigger or deeper meaning to things or whatever was just scary to me, and I like never wanted to like think about stuff like that. So I'm not gonna like tell anybody their religion is wrong or whatever, because I do believe everyone has the right to be religion and the right to believe in whatever they want to believe in. But I do want to talk about how scary it was to go from being, I don't even want to say like I'm not Christian anymore, but I guess by definition of what I believe in, I'm not. I don't know. I just don't like, I don't like the labels of it. But for the longest time, it was so scary to even like think about astrology being real or whatever, because that's what you're taught. You're taught that it's evil, you're taught that it's bad, and that if you believe in it or whatever, or witches or magic and all stuff like that, you're going to go to hell, you know. And I was like thinking, I was like, even like Nassim, he said like he was in math class or like science class when he was like, you know, in middle school or whatever like that, and he was listening to what the teacher said, and he was like, yo, this doesn't make sense, you know, like this doesn't add up to this, but you're telling me this is what's what's right, so I'm gonna believe it anyways. And so everyone in the class believes what the teacher says, because they're the teacher, that's your authority figure. You're supposed to, you know, listen to them, because they're older than you, they're wiser than you, right, quote unquote, they're older and wiser. So like, you can't question the system, you can't question authority, because that's wrong. So for the longest time, that's how I felt, like sitting in churches or like hearing different things at the dinner table. I was like, okay, well, this sounds all nice and gravy, but it doesn't really always make sense. And like, it doesn't make sense that a place that is like for worship and praise and all that stuff like that has different scandals and have people like begging for money and all that stuff like that. I was like, yo, this doesn't feel right. It just doesn't feel right. And then when I would look into astrology and stuff like that, I was like, oh, this kind of makes sense, you know, like this has strong evidence. People who believe in this and do this stuff like that, it kind of makes more sense than what's going on here. And I'm actually learning more about myself and how to change my life and how to make my life better from astrology than I am like going sitting in church. Like in a church, they'll tell me the same thing over and over again, like, you know, listen to your mom and dad, or if you do this, this is bad. And I'm just like, okay, but like how and why? Like where's the connection of why this makes sense, and where's the example of where's the reason? And they say, well, you don't question God, you don't question this, you don't question the teacher, you don't question authorities, you don't question that. And it's like, why not? You know, if something doesn't make sense and something doesn't add up, why don't we have the right to question it? Why don't we have the right to have answers? Because the thing about it is the system, and I'm gonna get kicked off again talking about real shit, but it's just like Nassim Hiram, if you guys ever listen to him, or his like 8-hour lecture or anything like that, he was like, listen, I was sitting in class and I was like, yo, none of this made sense. So he would raise the hand and be like, yo, teach, like what you're saying about like the sun and all this shit like that, it doesn't make any sense. And so he would get like kicked out of class. Same thing happened with Amber Khan. She was really smart and in class, and she questioned the system. She questioned, you know, the things that like professors were saying, and she got kicked out of class. And, you know, and it's like whenever you try to question the system or question authority, they want to kick you out. They want to say, we're not listening to you. Nassim went to different science conventions and stuff like that, and he tried to like explain his discoveries, and he got kicked out. And it's like, why are you kicking out people who are exposing or having new ideas? Like, isn't that the thing about being progressive, about changing and about evolving, is about questioning and you know, changing things? So why are we taught that it's so bad to have questions and want to know why and stuff like that? Because questioning it and want to know why, if it's right and if it's the way, you should have all the answers, right? You should be able to answer any question. Like if you ask me, you know, if you ask me, Haven, well, why did you wake up and go to the store this morning? I'm not going to be like, don't ask me questions. I'm gonna be like, no, I'm going to be like, listen, I went to the store this morning because I wanted to get some soup because I'm sick. I wouldn't yell at you for asking me why I decided to do something or why I believe in something. I would totally tell you why. If anyone asked me, Haven, why do you believe in astrology? I'd be like, yo, I believe in astrology because it showed me this and it resonated to me here, and also because anytime I bring up someone's birthday or I bring it up at a party or whatever, I've never met anyone who questioned, you know, what their birth chart says. And so like, if something is true and if something is real and if something is right, you can get all the answers to your questions. You know, I don't think God would be like, oh no, I'm not answering none of your questions. I feel like God would be happy as hell to sit down with you and be like, listen, babe, this is what happened. This is why I created the stars like this. This is why I did that. That's why I did that. And like show off his skills, you know? I don't think a system that is true or real or whatever like that would be pissed at people or kick people out for asking questions. If anything, if you're so genius and you're so sure in your method and your design, you'd be happy to share it. I feel like that's why professors and stuff like that, they love when people, hey, I have a question for you. I have this best friend, Scorpio. Should I tell her how I feel even if she has a boyfriend? You know, professors, I'm sorry, I'm going to get to your question, but I have to stay on track and I'm going to finish this thought. But professors, you know, they are so excited, or even if you like talk to a director or like they like, that's what they say, like people who are like directors or like work to get their doctorate degrees or whatever like that, they're so excited when college kids or young kids in their 20s or their 18s or whatever like that reach out to them or send them emails and like, hey, I really like your study on this, I would love to meet up with you so you can show me how you did this, whatever. They love that shit because it's like, if you study something and you love it and you believe it in it and it's real and it's true and it's honest and you focus so hard on it, why wouldn't you want to share your truth and why you did this or how you came up with that with everyone? You know what I'm saying? For a system to be like, don't question the system, it sounds kind of sketchy. It's like, why can I ask questions? What are you trying to hide? So you said, should you tell this person, the Scorpio, whatever like that, how you feel if she has a boyfriend? I think yes, because I think that despite if someone has a boyfriend or a girlfriend, they're not married, and they have, I feel like in relationships, yes, there's a sense of loyalty to people you're in relationships with, but also you have a sense of loyalty to yourself to evolve and to change and to have things that you want. And if this person likes you too, and you know, they have every right to have the opportunity to be with you if you present that to them. I think just because someone's in a relationship with someone doesn't mean something better can't come along or someone new can't come along that'll change their life. If you potentially could make her happy and could change her life, then why not share with how you feel, you know? I think people get so intimidated by boyfriends or girlfriends to not chase their dreams, but it's just like, you don't know, that person could be your soulmate, that person could be the person who changed your life for the better or their life for the better. You could like teach this person a lesson that alters their life for eternity. Like, you never know. So I boyfriend and girlfriends, that's cute and everything, I feel, but I feel like if someone likes you back or they want you back, that they choose to not be with their boyfriend or girlfriend anymore, that's up for them to decide. And I feel like you have every right to present to them that opportunity. What's going on here? It says, okay sis, I was talking to a Pisces sun, Aries, rising Cancer moon, and he left me out in the cold by randomly saying one day he wasn't ready for a relationship. Do you think he was wasting my time or what? But he didn't ever display he was wasting my time, which is why I was confused. When a guy says something to you, believe him. Guys usually don't say shit they don't mean. And usually a guy says what he means one time, and then if you choose not to believe him and mess around with him and continue to be all in his face, then it just backfires in your face because he'll always be able to say, listen, I told you I didn't want a relationship, you know? So listen to what he says. Men have a tendency of not really lying when it comes to stuff like that. If they don't want to be with you, they usually say it, you know? They say it one time, and you have that one time to listen to them, and then if you decide to chase them after, that's on you. If he was wasting your time, I say he could have been, but like, what does it matter now? He told you now that it's over, and I hate that this is like the harsh truth, and this is kind of mean, but I feel like I'm always gonna be the one to be honest and not lie to people, and like, you know, yeah, it's really shitty. People do come into your life and waste your time, but the thing about it is, it's like, okay, great, he told you now, so now you have your time back to yourself to do whatever you want to do, to live your life the way you want to do. So he's like, thank you. And you can just say, chalk it up to the universe, chalk it up to God, chalk it up to time, a lesson, astrology, whatever you want, and be like, yo, you know, thank you for teaching me this lesson that, you know, you learned a lesson from him. What did you learn from him? Think about it that way. The reason why I'm asking is because she had done wonders in my life as a friend. I think if you like somebody, despite if they're married, I don't know if you guys watch Grey's Anatomy, but I think there was this one episode where Teddy told Owen that like she loved him even though he was married to Amelia, and I feel like I applaud Teddy for that, because I feel like if you love somebody, if you want to be with somebody, despite the fact they're in a relationship, despite the fact that they're in love with someone else or whatever like that, you should tell them and leave it up to them to decide how they want their life to go. I feel like it's so, because like if you don't tell them, you're going to spend your entire life thinking, well, what if I would have told them? Tell them you want to be with them, tell them you like them, and then it's up to them to decide how they want to proceed forward. If they want to say, I'm not leaving my boyfriend, I'm not leaving my wife, I'm not leaving my girlfriend, then that's what they decided. Now you can move on, and you know, your life can go on. But if you keep sitting there and thinking, well, what if I didn't tell them, or what if I did tell them, then you're staying stuck in the same place. But at least you telling them is you evolving and moving on with your life, you know, instead of staying in the same spot, like wondering, thinking, like, maybe what if it would have, you know what I'm saying? So I say do it. I feel like if you let fear hold you back from doing something, you already lost, you know? You're afraid of what would happen if you do tell them, because potentially y'all could be together and y'all can live happily ever after, and then what? But if they decide to say, no, I don't want to be with you, then that's on them. That's on them. But at least you tried. At least you tried something else. You know, if you don't ask, the answer is already no. So I say ask. And relationship, boyfriend and girlfriends aren't for forever. They're for a time being. Also, marriage isn't forever these days anyways as well. That's just how I feel. Yeah, guys love relationships or whatever like that, have the tendency to waste your time, but you have to think about what was the lesson you learned while you were with them. What did they teach you at this point now, and what did they teach you after they decided to waste your time? And so now you can say, okay, great, this person wasted my time. I never want someone to waste my time ever again. So now in my next relationship, I can ask the hard questions up front, and I could, make my life better, and I can gain the time back I have now. I'm an Aquarius. My birthday is February 13, and I go out with a Pisces, but it's kind of hard for me to trust her. What do I do? You don't trust Pisces. That's what you do. You don't trust them. I can't take the truth. It's always tarot readings. Yeah, tarot. You guys want me to tell you a little truth about tarot reading? Is what I find is that people don't really want the truth, because I've done tarot for a couple months now. I think 3 months. I've been doing it since like May. And I come to find out that people don't want the truth. Tarot readers make money, and they thrive off of telling people your lover's coming back, or maybe he's not coming back, or you may have this happening, or you may have that happening. They thrive off of that, because if you think your ex is coming back or whatever like that, you're more prone to click on the video. No one wants to hear that their ex isn't coming back. No one wants to hear that the relationship is really over, because people are addicted to getting hurt. People are addicted to wondering this, that. I found that as a tarot reader, people don't want to hear it's time to start your new life. People don't want to hear let this person go. People don't want to hear that. People want to have what they want. And so when they're reading tarot videos or whatever like that, they're looking for clarification to stay in those relationships. They're looking for clarification to be boo boo the fool. You know what I'm saying? So it's just kind of a situation where, like, tarot readers will I'm not saying that like you can't believe tarot readers if they're constantly saying someone's coming back, but you got to look at it as like a thing of like, if your tarot person is saying this person is coming back, you got to think, okay, this person may come back, but it might be a test for me to test to see if I'm strong enough to let this person go, if I'm ready for the next challenge or that. Don't take it as like, oh, this person is coming back, I'm so excited, I have to accept them. It's like, it's deeper than that. It's like, what is this person coming back to tell you, to test you, to do what? You know what I'm saying? Because the people want readings that say your boyfriend's coming back to you, and it's cute and all, but like, there's more than life than your boyfriend coming back to you. You have a whole life to live, and I've that's why I'm kind of stopped doing tarot, because people don't want to hear what the cards say. People want to hear that reassurance on whatever relationship situation they have going on. I'm an Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Mercury, and I want a relationship, but I'm confused because everyone that I meet are not compatible. I don't know if I'm being guided to just be alone. Okay, because I have an Aquarius, Sun, and Venus, and I do find myself being alone a lot too as well. But I found that even from my life path number, like I did my life path or my numbers reading or whatever like that, and I found out that I'm meant to learn how to be independent and stuff like that for this life cycle until I think I'm like 20, around like 29, 20, 28, 20, like in my later 20s. I find that my mission or my path or whatever like that is to learn how to be really independent and be within myself. Until whatever, like, that's just my goal. And I think for a lot of Aquariuses, it is kind of learning how to be your own best friend, and how to learn how to deal with life on your own, and how to really cope with the balance between having fun and dealing with the isolation and the recharging that you need, versus constantly seeking people out. You can do that on Cafe Astrology. They have a thing where you can type in your numbers and stuff like that. Just look up just go to Cafe Astrology, like the website, and there's like a numerology type section where you can like put in everything. But yeah, I think, and also as an Aquarius, I've learned that every time that I'm looking for love, it never comes to me. And I think that has to go back with manifesting and wanting something. You have to let it go. Oh, why can't you trust Pisces? I will get back to that. So yeah, I found that me obsessing over wanting to be in love and wanting to be in a relationship and wanting people kind of pushes it away, because I'm putting that energy out and I'm like forcing it out, and so it's like pushing it away from me. But when you're kind of like not really irradiating any type of energy, it's allowing any energy to come in within you. So I think that it's best to just live your life, have fun, and then the vibes that'll come to you are meant for you. Like every relationship I got into was accidental. It wasn't something that I was looking for. So you can't trust Pisces. I mean, you can trust Pisces, but Pisces are very much escapisms. So, or escapists. So when things are going wrong in Pisces' lives, or like they're not really happy in a situation, odds are that they won't really tell you. They'll just kind of seek an escape on their own. They'll try to seek what makes them happy. You keep typing Scorpio, but I don't know what you mean by that. Can you explain why you keep saying Scorpio, Jack? But was I saying? Pisces, being escapist. They search for happiness and whatever they want in true in depth by escaping. So they have the prone to do whatever they want to do to make themselves happy, whether it's talking to someone new on the side, or cheating or whatever, because they're constantly searching to fill a void. You know what I'm saying? So even with friendships or relationships or whatever, Pisces have this stereotype as the fuckboy of the zodiac or whatever like that, because they want what they want, and if they're not feeling happy, and they're very sweet and sincere, so they probably won't hurt. And I'm not saying your boyfriend, your girlfriend is cheating on you, but I'm saying this is how they think. That when oh, I forgot what I was talking about again. Shit. Damn it, I hate being spaced. No, but Pisces. I was talking about Pisces being escapist. I'm not saying that your boyfriend or girlfriend is cheating on you, but I'm saying they think in a way that they're constantly looking for voids to fill, and they're really sweet and they're really nice, so they're never going to try to say anything to hurt your feelings. They're not going to be rude to you or whatever like that, but they're going to hold in a lot of pain and a lot of things that they feel that's wrong or going wrong with the relationship, and then one day randomly they're going to blow up and you're going to be like, yo, what happened? I thought everything was cool. But they've been kind of they're very like passive aggressive in a way, where they'll passively do things like subconsciously. They don't even know that they're doing things wrong. They're just kind of like, well, I just want to have a better time. I just want to have fun. But they're not going to do it in a way that they're going to be rude to you and hurt your feelings. They're going to do it in a way where it's just like, I'm just take care of me. I'm just take care of myself. I'm just getting this thing done and that thing done on my own. Hold on. Tyler, Mama's here. Mom is here. I don't know if she's coming up. Are we back? I'm back. Sorry about that. I got a feeling. My mom is a Pisces, and I was talking about Pisces, and I got a feeling that she was talking to me, and I literally swiped up, and because I have my phone on Do Not Disturb, and she was messaging me. Yeah. I don't think card readings are true because they all say different things. Well, when it came to card reading, what I did last year before I started doing tarot myself is I started to watch like 5 or 6 tarot readings that were of like Aquarius, and I have it on my channel still. Some of them is called Aquarius reading overviews. And so what I did was I would watch like 5 or 6 tarot readings that I like really respect, that I really liked, and so I would write down like keywords or key combinations that a lot of tarot readers said. Like a lot of people would say like, you guys are going through this or going through that, so I'd write it down, and so I'd watch all of the tarot readings, and so I would like bring all the tarot readings together and do like an overview, like Aquarius is this is what's going on. So like I found there was a lot of truth in tarot readings when like they all, like 4 or 5 of them said the exact same thing. But tarot readings are tricky. But that's the thing about Pisces. It's like they are more concerned with their inner consciousness and their inner soul. So they have the tendency to do what makes them happy. And try not to hurt anyone in the process, because they know what pain is, because usually Pisces have gone through things as a childhood that they don't really conceptualize. But I love Pisces. They're really sweet, but they have the tendency to like act very selfishly in a way that they don't present as selfishly, because if they say it's like for them or whatever. It's a thing, and they're also water signs, so that they could be very manipulative and stuff like that. whenever I watch a pick a card reading, I always pick the last one on the right. Is that normal? I usually pick the third one on the second one, so I think it all comes up to like who you are as a person. Like if you always pick the same one, that's cool. That's just what you're drawn to. Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Mercury, and one relationship. Okay, I read that. I'm going back and reading the messages. I also feel like I'm in the process of being spiritually awakened because I've been doing a lot of work with law of attraction. Yes, queen. What sign are we most compatible with? Okay, I'm going to answer that. I have a life path 8. Great. Aquarius and Scorpio are the right signs to be together. I kind of believe that too. So Cafe Astrology is the correct natal chart to look at. The first one I know recently is the only CoStar app that's giving me different sun, moons, and rising signs. Also, does rising and ascending sign mean the same thing? Yes, rising and ascending is the same thing. Yes, they're the same thing. Okay, back again. Was I have to go take a shower? I don't like Pisces. I'm in love with a Pisces girl. Aqua and Gemini. Okay, there's a lot going on right now. So, Cafe Astrology. Cafe Astrology, when you're looking at Cafe Astrology, I say it's an easy way to look at if you're first starting off at astrology because it lays it out really simple for you. I usually only stick or recommend you sticking to the first column of chart. It tells you your sun, your moon, your ascending, your rising, all this stuff like that, just the planetary stuff. On the other side, they tell you about all this other stuff, and it doesn't really align with whatever because they use the Pleiades system, and that's a system that a lot of astrologers don't really use. But I mean, if you want to go by the Pleiades system, do your thing. But I recommend just looking at the first column that lays out your planetary stuff, your planetary signs. Now, Cafe Astrology is good if you're just starting out because it shows you everything. It gives you a short reading. Tyler, how you just leave and don't say bye? That's so upsetting. I have to go lock my door now. I'll be back. Wait, hold on, guys. I will be right back. 2 seconds. I have to put my hood on though because I'm crazy. But like, I don't even know if my room's a mess and you guys are gonna judge me. You know what? I'm a mess. So I'll be back. Okay guys, I'm back. I'm so sorry. I just like love my family so much. Like the older I get, the more I'm starting to like appreciate them so much more. And like, I don't know, because like I live alone. Yes, that is Stefan. It's Paul Wesley. I painted him in high school. No, but I just like love my family so much. I'm like oddly like in love with them, but I think you should be. And so like I get so sad when they like leave me, and I like want them to hang out with me all the time because I just love my family. Like I love my siblings. So yes, you guys never seen my artwork. I have a mannequin oil painting right there of Stefan. I have some things like that. I showed you guys on my last live. I did this thing, which is like a surreal painting. I have a video on my channel. It's called Showing You Guys My Artwork. You guys just don't love me like that to know my life, so it's depressing. But I have to read and help you guys. So, what system do you recommend? Okay, And the thing about it is, it's so crazy because I've been seeing a lot of like astrology people tweet about like making like a video on like how to read your birth chart, but I feel like there's so many videos out there that like, okay, so reading your birth chart, let's go over this. So, okay, I'm gonna get to your messages. Okay, hold on. You guys know, like every time you guys type something I'm talking, my brain just goes like, and like I forget what I'm talking about. But like I totally respect the questions, but like I'm really bad at focusing on more than one thing at a time. So birth charts, astrology, how to look up your chart, systems, all those things. So I would recommend, no, it's fine. It's really fine. Like, I appreciate it. I'm gonna have to go back and look at it, but I just like, I can't focus. So, okay, if you're first starting, listen to me. If you're first starting out in astrology and you don't know what your ascending is, your rising is, whatever, first things first is, I would say, the very first thing you do, everybody get your pen and paper out, okay? Listen, the first thing you need to do is find and locate your birth certificate. If you don't live in a country where you have birth certificates or whatever, then ask your mom. And then even if you have a birth certificate, ask your mom what time you were born, because my birth certificate, for example, has said that I was born at like 7:45, but then I asked my mom and she said, well, actually, Haven, you were born about an hour, 30 minutes before that. They were just short-staffed that night, so they recorded your birth time later. So like I had been going around thinking like I was like a Virgo rising or whatever like that, and I wasn't. And I think that the time is so important, that you know the accurate time. And it really pisses me off how like a lot of birthdays say like 7:45, 7:30, 8:30. It's like you guys are like rounding up to the times, and like I don't think people really understand. That's why when I have a kid, and I'm like really anal about this, when I have a kid, I'm going to be having something recording the minute my fucking child okay, I need to stop cursing, but I'm getting so passionate about it. It's the Aries moon coming out. The minute my child comes out of me, if I decide to have kids, and a stopwatch or a timer recording the time, because knowing what time you were born not only gives you your rising, what is extremely important, it maps out your house system, okay? And your house system is very important because that tells you each slice of where each of the planets are placed at the time that you were born, and which house they were placed in, which tells you, like fourth house, for example, is like where you come from, which is like how you kind of were raised in your childhood, or what you kind of felt when you were a kid, like in the house. Like for example, I have a Scorpio fourth house, which comes along with Leo rising. Like usually if you have a Leo rising, then your fourth house is Scorpio, your first house is Leo, and stuff like that. But the thing about houses and times is it's very tricky, because you know, you can have a house cusp. Like I'm on the cusp because my time was later on in the Leo, that was kind of close to Virgo, that my fourth house is a cusp of Scorpio and Sagittarius. So which is like where it's laid. So Cafe Astrology doesn't show you that. Cafe Astrology only shows you the planets and stuff like that. Like your Venus is in like Aquarius, for example, like mine is. Now, the way you can find out where your houses is, which is if you have your correct time and you know your rising, at least you kind of know, for a generalized example, if you are Leo rising, then your first house is Leo. That means your second house is what? Libra or something like that. And then your third house is not Libra. What is it, Virgo or whatever like this. Your second house Virgo, your third house is what's after Virgo, like whatever, like the line or whatever, however the signs are in order. I should know the signs in order, but like honestly when it gets to like Leo and shit like that, it gets kind of confusing or whatever. So you should know all that. And it always aligns like that, but it gets tricky where it's like if you were born a little earlier, it's like it shifts in a way where like your houses would go like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 instead of like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 this way. You know, it just depends on what time you're born. So where you can find that is, I love, for example, astro.com. Basically, you type in all your information. You can also type in all your friends' information and keep a list and a record of your friends underneath your account. And that way you can like have all that and know where your placements is and your aspects and stuff like that. I really like, the thing about Cafe Astrology is it tells you like your aspects, which is like sun conjunct moon, or your sun conjunct your Venus, or like stuff like that. With Astro.com, it doesn't really lay that out for you. It kind of lists it at the bottom, but like in like symbolic terms. And I'm, for example, I'm not really good at symbols. I hate when I like have math problems and I can't, and it's just a bunch of symbols. Like when there's like less than and greater than, I'm just like, yo, I hate that there's symbols. Just tell me what it is. You know what I'm saying? So me as a person, I'm more of like a English type person. I'm not like a big symbolic person. So I like when things are written out. So Cafe Astrology will write out all your placements for you, which you can just copy and paste and have in a Word document so that you know your aspects. Now, when you go to astro.com, it lays out your whole wheel so that you know where things connect and you know where the houses are, but it's all in symbolic type of terms, and you have to look at the key and the legend. So I'd say it's good to maybe have both of them, and I think it would be amazing for someone to make like a system where you can have it written out for you, as well as you can have the wheel, but there's none right there that I know of. So I would go to both of them and I would take screenshots or pictures or whatever of both of them and then study that. And so when it comes to learning about what this fourth house Scorpio means and what it means, sun conjunct thing and all that stuff like that, you basically just have to do your research. And the thing about that is, research and finding out your sign and your houses and what all that stuff means, it's really like, people, the thing about it is like people ask me all the time, oh, my sun is this, what does that mean? My moon is this, what does that mean? I have sun conjunct Pluto, what does that mean? And it's really cool to like be able to help other people out and tell them about it. But I find, like, as an astrologer and someone who appreciates astrology so much, this is also one of the reasons why I was kind of nervous about astrology going mainstream, for two reasons. One is for like, people won't really have the same appreciation as I feel like me and a lot of early people who got into astrology at a young age did, because it was very much a life-changing for us, because it's like we didn't understand, or we felt alone, or didn't understand why we were this way, and then we found our birth charts, we found astrology, and we did a bunch of research on ourselves and about our placements and about our charts, and so we come to appreciate and love astrology a lot more. With all these apps and stuff like that coming out and like saying, oh, your sun is this, that means this, it's kind of like defaming, not defaming, but like it's kind of like taking away the essence of like people appreciating astrology, because it's kind of just like handed to them. Like I talked about this in my life before. I was kind of like, you know, like a psychology book, like your professor giving you a psychology book and you're like, okay, here's everything about the brain, learn psychology. You're not going to be as excited to learn about psychology or your brain or whatever as if you could pick apart the brain and figure it out for yourself. It'll be so much intriguing and so much entertaining and fun if you could figure out what part of the brain means this and all this stuff like that on your own, rather than someone giving it to you and be like, here it is, research it, learn it, and then whatever, now you know. It's so much more fun when you're able to figure it out on your own and make the connections and stuff like that. So I always recommend, and I hope people don't like take it as me being mean or rude, but I always recommend people doing their research for their own selves, because you come to appreciate it a lot more than when someone just gives it to you. You know what I'm saying? So I don't really mind giving people like examples about what different things mean, but I do like want people to focus on it for themselves and do the research on it for themselves. And I kind of understand why like teachers and professors say that now than like, you know, giving you a book. Yeah, I like that people are into astrology now, but it's like it's kind of like even now if I try to do research online about different placements and aspects, I get a whole bunch of bullshit websites about, ooh, does your lover like have the same thing as you? And it's like some Cosmopolitan fucking BuzzFeed type article that's bullshit. And like it is so annoying, because it's like I want actual research, I want actual stuff from real astrologers, and I'm getting someone who like looked up astrology for a week and now they're posting stuff about it. Same thing about CoStar. People who made the app CoStar, they studied astrology for 3 months and they came up with a system, and then like bam, now they're generating apps to people. And it's really annoying, because people like me and different YouTubers and stuff that you guys see really love and have passion for astrology because it changed our life. It's not something to get money. That's why I don't want to keep saying this again, but like when I saw Denzel Dion's video about what he hates and doesn't like about like your son, I noticed that every time he started to talk about a thing that he didn't like about his son, he paused and there was like a cut, kind of like he had his phone and he was like looking up things about Aquarius, and then he would like figure out a way to fit into like his life and then say it. And it was kind of annoying because I'm like, I get astrology videos are really popular right now and a lot of people make money off of it, but it's like it kind of takes away from those people who are really looking for answers, who are really caring about it, and who like really look for people for guidance and stuff like that. And then it's hard to try to convince the new generation who's just getting into it to like say do your research and don't just believe everything you hear. But like it's fun and it's exciting, but like I don't know. What's your view on connecting to the higher source? I believe that connecting to the higher source is connecting to within. I think that God, like they say God, if that's the higher source, or energy is the highest source or whatever like that, is love, right? And I think that energy and love and like God and all that stuff like that, it all comes from within, like what we were made in like God's image. That's what the Bible says, for example. Or you know, we were made of matter, we were made of like the earth or particles, our body or whatever like that. So I think it's all about self-love and like connecting with yourself and meditating and stuff like that, because I learned that meditating and, you know, doing stuff like the law of attraction or manifesting is all about within. And I think that's why the system or whatever like that tried so hard to get us to not think about who we really want to be or what we really are, and focus on ourselves at a young age, but focus on the system and this educational system and all this other stuff that they were programming us to learn instead of learning about ourselves. Because really tapping into the higher source is connecting with yourself. Even praying, for example, it's you getting alone and it's you getting on your knees and you closing your eyes and you doing this and really honing in and closing in on your heart chakra and like, you know, praying for yourself and praying for you and praying for others. And it all comes from within. Like you guys think about education and all that stuff like that, it's all outward stuff. It's nothing about you. Math and I guess math on a more like spiritual level does have to do with the self, but English and all this other stuff like that, and like what do we learn, like art and stuff, but art is a subconscious way or whatever like that. But all of that stuff is like outward stuff that has you focusing on stuff other than yourself. So I come to learn that loving yourself and accepting yourself full on and meditating and being alone and, you know, being weary of your energies is connecting to the higher power, the higher source, because it's coming from within. It's coming from your inside, you know. So doing all that stuff about meditating, watching what you eat, meditating, listening to stuff like different vibrational stuff and stuff like that, it's more of connecting to the higher self than all this other stuff. Even astrology is a way of, I feel like, connecting to the higher self, because you're connecting to yourself on like an astral level that's coming from the sky, coming from the time that you were born. And so that within itself is focusing on like the higher power, because it's coming from the sky, which created you and stuff like that. So that's my take on connecting to the higher self. It's like truly loving and accepting yourself to realize that you are the same as everyone else, that, you know, you need to love everyone and focus on yourself and like breathe and all that jazz. Someone asked the question, let's see what it says. This is why some people are homeschooled. Yes, I do believe that I'm gonna homeschool my kids, have if I ever have them, because it's like I know this guy, if you guys know, if you're really into YouTube, there's a guy named Jay Alvarez. He was like born in Hawaii, and his parents basically like homeschooled him and stuff like that and kept him home. And like if he wanted to try like psychedelics or whatever like that, or different stuff he wanted to experiment, his parents were more of like, okay, just do it with us, do it at home, we can watch you, we can like tell you what it's about. Then they homeschooled him, and he has this whole different perspective on life, where he travels different places, meets different people, and has like all these crazy wild experiences, because he's not boggled down by the system. He's not brainwashed by the system and like thinking that you have to go to college to be successful, you have to do this, you have to know math, you have to know science. Because if you think about it, I feel like if anything, in a way, the most important subject that we learned in school, other than like learning how to talk and spell and stuff like that, was history. Because learning about history is like learning about where you come from and learning about other people, but all that other shit, it's just a distraction to keep you from focusing on yourself and your higher power and all that stuff like that. The controversy is when I talk to my brother about that is trusting your heart and allowing negative entities in your life. I don't feel that way, but it's just my upbringing and it makes sense. Yeah, that's what I wanted to get into for a minute. It's very hard, depending on what type of background you're coming from, dealing with a family that believes in a certain type of way, and then they see you doing something different, astrology, meditating, focusing on frequencies and breathing and all that stuff like that, and they look at you as kind of like this crazy outcast type of person who is like all this stuff like that. And you know, I kind of had to deal with that as well, coming from a really traditional Southern Christian type of household. And the thing about it is, like, I don't know, for me, I kind of like didn't do a lot of things that I wanted to do until I was able to move out. But to me, it was more of a situation where, like, to be happy, I have to get good grades in high school. I have to follow the system until I'm on my own and able to be in my own household and in my own space to live the way I actually want to live. And it sucks that it has to be like that, that everyone just can't be accepted, even when it comes to being true within yourself, as in being gay or lesbian or bisexual or asexual or pansexual. You have to kind of follow the system or follow the rules until you get to a place to where you're on your own, so that you can live authentically. And for me, what that looked like was me following the rules, getting good grades so that I can go to college, so that I can get my own apartment, so that I can get my own house, and, you know, make my own money and get my own job, so that I can make up my own rules and live authentically for me. And that's what I would recommend doing for most people. Is like, if you're not happy with your parents or your household or what's going on in life, just chalk it up to, like, I have to follow the system. I have to do what I have to do in order to get on. But I do think for the upcoming generation that it is a lot easier, because a lot of things are more accepted. And I do chalk it up to it being the age of Aquarius, that, you know, a lot of things are being more accepted. But growing up when we did, like the early 90s, early 2000s, yeah, it was really hard for, you know, you being the outcast, you being different. But I just looked at it as, listen, I gotta follow the system, gotta be smart about it to be happy, you know? And that's what I always try to tell kids, like, and it breaks my heart, because a lot of the messages I get from people who are, like, really going through a lot of stuff are kids who are, like, 13, like, 10. I had a kid who was 8 years old, like, message me. I was, like, so depressed. And it was, like, they're not happy in their household with their families. And I try to tell them, like, listen, just follow the rules. Just do what you have to do, just so you can make it through high school, so you can make it through 18. And then when you're able to be on your own, I promise you, life is way bigger than your hometown, way bigger than your family, way bigger than the rules. It's way bigger than that. You just have to make it out alive. You just have to get through this time. And I know it's so hard, and I know even if I was telling this to myself at 13, I would look at myself like I was crazy and be like, girl, you don't understand, you don't get it. But that's really how it is. It's like, you just have to do what you have to do so that you can be happy, you know? And it sucks that, you know, I'm telling a kid, like, go, like, be with the, like, accept that your parents don't accept you, you know? It kind of sucks in essence that I'm just like, accept it, like, deal with it, get through it. But, like, that's literally all you, like, you have to do. Like, you can't run away from home at, like, 8. And I mean, I guess you can, but, like, it makes things a lot harder. Like, you just have to, like, play the role, do the things that they want you to do, because that's just the way the system is designed, you know? It's designed that you have to listen to your parents and do the things. And in essence, it keeps you safe in a way, because the world is scary out here. It really is. But I hate telling that to kids, but, like, that's literally what I did. That's what you have to do. I don't see any other way. I know I can sometimes tell them, like, think about, like, grandparents or whatever, but I don't know. That's me getting stressed out talking about empathic stuff and people's feelings. So yeah, I would never date a Capricorn human, really. controversy when I talk to my brother. Yeah. And it's like when you talk about, hi Aqua Tribe, I literally feel so connected to you. I started my journey 3 months ago. When you Capricorn, I have you. I love you guys, Aqua Tribe. But it's like, it just really sucks, you know? But it's just like, it's just what you gotta do. It's just what you gotta do. Yeah, loads of fighting, loads of arguing. It's sad. Do you believe that everything happens for a reason? I actually do. And I believe that a lot more with astrology. Let me tell you guys why. And I'm going to talk about myself again and my own experiences, because that's the only way that I feel like I can connect with people, is talking about my experiences, because that's all I have. Like, all I have is what I know and what I've experienced. So if you guys ever like have something that you want me to talk about, just know that like I'm not talking about it because I haven't experienced it yet, and all I can talk about is my experience because I know that to be true. So basically what happened was, I got a reading done by, I'm 20 years old, but I feel like an old person. So listen, I believe everything happens for a reason, because I got a reading done by Root Astrology. And if you guys know Root Astrology, she shakes a lot of tables on Twitter. Like, everyone is mad because she's real. She's an Aquarius and she's amazing. So I got a reading done by her. It's actually up on my channel. It's called The Dark Truth of My Past Life. And literally she goes into like my conjunctions, what are my aspects, which are very specific, which is what the pattern uses. If you guys know about the pattern app, they talk about your aspects and they like say that this is your pattern. So I had like Sun conjunct Saturn and stuff like that, and basically the Sun is basically your ego, and your Saturn is basically your father, or what restricts you. So if you guys know, my father is a Virgo, and we have the Sun conjunct Saturn type of situation or whatever, and it's kind of like me and my dad have struggled with obstacles for a long time, with getting along and seeing eye to eye, and even him telling me like that I was like, my emotions or how I felt about the things that happened in my life between me and him were a lie, because he's a Virgo, and Virgos like to keep things like tailored, and like say like, if I don't want to look bad, so whatever you feel, if I didn't want it to happen, then it didn't happen. And that's just how Virgos are. They don't want to be perceived in a light that's bad or negative. So like, if you like, they'll even say stuff sometimes and it's really rude and mean, but like they'll say like, oh, I didn't mean it that way, so you can't take it that way. And it's like, you can't tell people how to feel, Virgos. So anyways, I believe everything happens for a reason, because I thought for the longest time, you know, me and my dad just don't have a good relationship. Like, it sucks. Like, that's just the way it is. Like, that's just how it's gonna be. Like, I'm screwed, whatever. Or I thought it was my fault because I was told for so long that like my feelings were invalid. I was just making shit up, and for a long time I believed it or whatever like that. But when I got the reading done by her, she literally kind of described all of that happening. And the reading was basically like, you have to go through this, or it was meant for you to go through this so that you can learn this. You can learn how to deal with authority, or you can learn how to deal with this, because in your past life you had issues with this, this, and this. And so that's why in this life you have this Sun conjunct Saturn with your father and stuff like that. And it literally brought me to tears, because I was like, this makes so much sense. Like, I'm thinking like, oh, me and my dad's relationship suck, and I have to do all this stuff to like repair it and all this stuff like that, or have to spend my whole life stressed out about me and my dad not getting along, and I'm gonna like, he's gonna die, and I'm gonna be so sad that we never like made up or whatever like that. But when I got the reading done and she's like telling me like, you may have this and stuff like that with your father, I'm just like, oh, so like, oh, this was meant to happen. Like, we were meant to like not be cool. Like, he was just like meant not to be like my best friend in this lifetime, and like, that's just the way it is. And I just come to accept like, yo, it was meant for me and my dad to not get along, because I have something to learn from that. And so now that I'm older, I'm just like, you know, when me and my dad get in an argument or something like that, or we fall out, I'm just like, oh, you know, it's just my Sun conjunct Saturn, so it's like not a big deal. Not to say that I don't try to work on it or fix it or treat it differently, but it's just like, it brings some type of reassurance to me to know like, it's not my fault and it's not the end of the world because this isn't working out. It's just the way things are meant to be. So I would honestly recommend getting a reading, but be very careful about who you get your readings from, because a lot of people try to do trickery. And also, if you guys do get readings for people, make sure that they're personalized. Ask them, is this a personalized reading to my specific chart? I'm talking if you're getting a birth chart reading, because a lot of people will do birth chart readings and they'll just see aspects and they'll copy and paste shit, and it's disgusting, honestly. I feel like if you're paying for something, it needs to be personalized, and so that's why I do only tarot readings, and they're personalized to energy. I sit there and I meditate on people's energy and I pull the cards and then I tell them whatever. I don't do natal chart readings because I'm not that skilled in natal chart readings. Like, I don't know all the placements and stuff like that. Thank you. So I don't do things that I don't know. And I know a lot of people are starting to get in astrology, starting to get in readings and all that stuff like that, because it's a big money maker, because a lot of people are looking for answers. So do your research, ask around about people before you order birth chart readings or natal chart readings, and ask if it's personalized, because sometimes people will try to hide in the fine print, this is a generalized reading, and it's annoying, because I feel like, I don't know, I just hate people messing over people with money, because I know that money is so hard to come by for a lot of people, and so that's why my readings are not that expensive, for one, and also because I feel like, I don't know, I just feel like it's insane. So I do believe everything that happens for a reason. So if you guys are having problems at home or with your siblings or with your lover or whatever, just know that it's a part of a bigger situation. There's a reason why you're dealing with this, and it's usually to teach you some sort of lesson, your soul some sort of lesson, you some sort of lesson, for you to grow through or whatever like that. It's not just happening to you because like you're doomed. It's usually for a reason. And if you get a reading done, odds are, if you like look into your birth chart or research your aspects or whatever like that, you'll most likely be able to figure out why that's happening to you, or what's the reason behind it. So just that's what I also try to tell kids that as well, who come to me and they're like dealing with a lot with their parents in their home life. I'm like, listen, the first thing I was like, okay, what's your birth chart? Like, let me look at your wheel and tell you why this is happening to you. Like, why do you feel so alone? Like, what's your 12th house? What's your, your 4th house? Like, I'm trying to help them to figure out, like, to get them to understand that you're not just going through this for no reason. Like, this isn't happening to you for no reason. Like, there's a reason why you're dealing with an abusive dad or mom, and I hate to even say that. Like, there's a reason why your dad is being abusive to you, but, like, what do you tell people, But I think that astrology brings a lot of clarification, because instead of crying about it, you're like, oh, well, this is meant to happen to me because of this, I think it changes people's lives in a way. But yes. Yeah, if you're dealing with issues with your dad, usually look at Saturn and look at how go to Cafe Astrology and look what conjuncts or what sextiles or whatever aspects or your Saturn. When you believe everything that happens for a reason, you begin to think, what if it didn't happen, or what if you didn't go there, or do this or do that? Yeah, I don't even think about that anymore. I don't even think about what ifs anymore, because I feel like that's an insult to the universe, to the operator, to the creator. I need to take these hands off because they're hurting me. Because I said this in my last Aquarius reading, that I was gonna post the video, the podcast about the roller coaster ride. But if you guys want, oh, did you guys hear my back crack? I need to go do yoga, honestly. It's been so long. But what was I talking about? I hate that I forget what I'm talking about. Yeah, people here talking about dads, and some people don't even got dads. Yes, and the thing about dads is, my dad, so because, and I don't even like talking about other people's shit, but like I'll do it anyways for example purposes. But the reason why me and my dad have such an issue is because he didn't really have a dad kind of like as an example in his life, so he doesn't really know how to be a dad to his kids, right? And so I was trying and I figured this out because he told me this, because I'm his daughter or whatever like that. But also I looked at his chart, because I think that understanding people and why they are the way they are, which it can be obtained through their birth chart or knowing about their childhood, which I talked about in the last live. But I looked at my dad's chart, and his 12th house was like a Saturn or something like that. And so when I researched 12th house Saturn, it talks about that these people tendency to not have a dad, and so his life situation played out in a way for him to not have a dad, because it was like most people with displacement don't have a dad or have an absent father in their life. So it just so happened that it actually played out that way. I mean, just so happened it was meant to play out for his dad not to be in his life, and it actually happened because astrology is real. And so because his dad wasn't in his life, it made him a certain way. And so with that happening, my placements made me and my dad have a conflict, because my Saturn was conjunct this, and I have a Saturn in Aries, which allowed, like, because his dad was a certain way with him in his birth chart, made him a certain way, and it replayed in my birth chart. So it's like a pattern basically of like generational, or not even generational, just like how people are connected in a way. And my dad was meant to be in my life, and his dad was meant to not be in his life, to teach me this, or for it to teach him that, and to teach me this and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So even like looking at your mom's charts or your sisters or your brother's charts, and realizing the reason why they're dealing with stuff, and that the reason why they're in your life is to teach you certain things. And so I think that, like, that's why I'm like, for people to dumb God down to like being a man or whatever like that is so beyond me, because I'm like, God as a man, you think man is smart enough to create systems like that to align people in life, to teach them different things that their soul needs them teach? Like, make no mistake, the people, your sister, your brother, your mom, and your dad, even if you didn't have a dad, it's all designed in a way that connects to how you will treat your children and their birth charts and stuff like that. Like, there's no mistakes here. Like, everyone is going through everything for a reason. My dad went through what he went through, and it was in his birth chart for him to not have a dad, for him to be treating me a certain way, so that it connects to my birth chart, and it teaches me a lesson that has to do with my soul. And I'm pretty sure me not having this will connect to my kids' birth chart, and it'll teach them a lesson that they needed, and that'll teach them, you know, it's a pattern, it's a connection that keeps going on. And so even like looking up your parents' birth charts to understand why they are the way that they are will help you understand why you are the way that you are. Yeah, like even that. And I even learned about oh, that you guys are gonna love this. You guys are gonna love this, because I love this and I wanted to make a video about it. So I learned, so let me tell you guys, this is going back to Leo as well. So I'm a psychology major, and I love that I'm a psychology major and I'm in astrology. And now I'm gonna minor in philosophy, so I'll be able to connect like the philosophy, the ethical side of things, and then the astrological side of things, and the psychological side of things, and I'll have like a whole connection in my, I'll just get it. So let me tell you guys about this. So I was seeing the Leo, right? And so the Leo, I knew about his childhood because we like know each other, and we were like romantic or whatever like that. So and I think, like I say, the first thing I do when I'm getting involved in someone is I ask them about their childhood, how their mom and their dad, how their life is, or they usually are more comfortable with telling me about this. So even think about your boyfriend or your girlfriend or your wife or your husband or whatever, your ex or anything like that. Keep that in mind. So the Leo grew up with a mom and a dad, right? And like I told you guys earlier, me and my dad have my conflicts. My dad always lived in a different state than me, or like a different city or town with me. And so it was just like me and my mom. Well, not just me and my mom, but like I didn't have two parents in the same household. Basically, that's what I'm gonna say. And so the Leo learned from his parents. There's a thing, I wish I knew it off the top of my head, but it's a thing in psychology where like you drop your kid off at the daycare, and so when the parent drops their kid off at the daycare, there's like different type of reactions that the kid will do. Sometimes the kid will cry when their parents leave, or sometimes like, and then when the parent comes back, if they cried, they'll like run into their arms and they'll hug them, right? And so it's like different, and I wish I still had the PowerPoint. I know I have it on my phone, but if I swipe down, then I will literally lose you guys for a minute. But I have my laptop. I don't. Let me not scoot all the way back. Wait, no, this is getting really juicy. It's getting really good. Hold on. Ah! I'm trying to get my laptop. Okay. Because I think I saved the PowerPoint. But think about how, so, okay, it's like, basically it's like avoidant, it's like different type of attachment styles, basically. So there's like avoidant attachment, there's like passive, it's not passive, but there's different, oh shit, now my laptop's dead. Okay, so basically there's different type of attachment styles, right? So it's like when the mom or the parent drops the kid off at daycare, he cries, right? And it's like, and then sometimes like the kid like doesn't talk to the parent when they first pick them up, or they're mad at them or something like that. Like there's different, I'm gonna make a whole video on this, okay? But just let me tell you this example. So for me, for example, I think I have an attachment style that's like avoidant attachment or something like that. So whenever I see my dad, the first thing I do is I'm really mean to him, or I don't say anything to him. And he said I've been doing this as a kid. So I would be like really like passive, like aggressive in a way when I first see my dad. And so I noticed when I first saw the Leo would come over to my house, or like I would see him for the first time, I'd be kind of mean to him, right? And so I noticed when he first saw me, what he would do is like be really open, and like he'd come up to me and hug me and be like really warm and opening. But I would be really distant and mean to him because that's the attachment style that I learned as a kid. So like when I would first, like when my dad would pick me up when I was younger, I would be really like mean. I wouldn't say anything to him for a few minutes, and then I'd slowly warm up and then be really nice to him. Same thing about the kid. When you drop the kid off at the daycare, it's like the attachment style. It's like they're upset that their parents dropped them off, and then when they pick them up, they slowly warm up to start talking to them again. And so with the Leo, he had an attachment style with his parents that like when his parents left, he was fine, and when his parents picked him up, he was fine. That's why in our relationship, when he first sees me, he's like, hey, what's up? I'm glad to see you. He's really nice. No, it's not just Aquarius. It's different attachment styles. It's a psychological thing that everyone has based upon how they were raised as a kid. Because I learned this in my psychology class. It doesn't have anything to do with like zodiac signs or anything. But I learned that like even with my friends or something like that, like when you first see them, sometimes they're really excited and they're like, oh my god, good to see you all, like, ah. And then some friends are just like, hey, and then they slowly warm up and they start to be really excited and really happy to talk to you. And that has to do a lot with like your attachment style based upon how you were raised. And I noticed like a lot of kids, like my sister for example, when she first would see her dad, she'd be kind of like distant and like rude and afraid to talk to him because they're different type of fucking attachment styles and are just I'm gonna make a video on this because I'm so mad at myself. And so then she would like slowly warm up to them and be really happy. And it's just like kind of like if you guys look at your relationships and think about when your boyfriend first comes home or your girlfriend first comes home, how they act when they first see you. Has a lot to do with how they were raised as a child and how their parents kind of were. And I've noticed a lot of kids who have both mom and dads, they're very like happy to see people when they first see them. They're like open in arms, like good to see you, haven't seen you in a while. But a lot of kids who have parents that were separated, they kind of have like this neglection type situation going on, so they're kind of mean and upset, and then they slowly warm up to you and are happy to see you. And I even still do that a lot in like my relationships and when I see people, because that's just like the attachment style that I was used to or raised upon or whatever, or like the psychological pattern I had when I was younger. Yeah, and it's like, and like, you know, if you didn't know that, you would think, oh, like they don't like me or they're mad at me or something like that. But it's not about that. It's all about the childhood. That's why I say the childhood, the fourth house, things that are in the fourth house are so important, because that kind of sets the foundation for who you are as a person. It's all about your childhood. Yes, they're listening. I'm dismissive, avoidant, fearful, avoidant, secure, and anxious. Yes, those are the things. I really wish I would have focused more in that class, but I was going through a lot at the time. But I will totally make a video on that because I found that so interesting, that I was like playing out for like that in my life. And I talked to my dad about it because he's a psychology professor as well, and he was like, yes, I totally see that as well. Like I'd never thought about it that way, but it's so true and it's so cool. That's why, if anything, and even when people ask me like, oh, are this and this sign compatible, is that and that sign's compatible, I can't tell you if signs are compatible, because people are more likely to fall in love or date people based upon how they make them feel based upon their childhood. Like for example, I, as a person who has that avoidant attachment style, I need somebody who has the personality who is like secure attachment, because if we're both avoidant attachment like styles, then when we both see each other, we're both going to be mad at each other, and then we're going to slowly work up to like liking each other. And like, as I have a type of personality where it's like I need someone who will make me feel more secure, you know what I'm saying? And probably him, I don't know how that made him feel for me to be upset, but I guess he kind of learned like, oh, that's just Haven, or that's just the way she is, but she'll warm up to me or whatever. But I think that it kind of balanced each other out. I think that if there maybe were two people who were like secure attachment, they'd be like really happy to see each other. They'd be like, oh babe, miss you, like haha, like all that type of thing. But I don't know, but I knew for me personally, I think if I had a partner who was like avoidant attachment just like I was, that would drive me crazy, because we're both mean to each other when we first see each other. But maybe I'd be like kind of into it because it'd be kind of hot. It's like, yeah, we're mad at each other, but we're not gonna be in a second. You know, it just depends on the personality. It depends on the fourth house. It depends on how you are raised, if anything. That's why I'm like, give me a full story on their childhood and I'll be able to tell you if y'all are compatible or not. But my makeup is so pretty. I'm so happy, y'all. I went through a phase where my makeup was shit because I just wasn't happy on the inside. And you guys know, your inside like reflects your outsides, and like, I just love the 360. I love the glow up, man. I'm just so happy. And like, it sucks because if you guys watch or listen to the podcast, the Leo Rising Devalued Champion, it kind of sucks when I even go through like sad phases in my life where I'm really sad or like going through things, and like I try to talk about it. It's like no one wants to hear about it because they're like, oh, Haven, you have like, you're a Leo rising. Not, they don't say you're a Leo rising, but like Leo risings are so good at putting on a mask or a performance of everything's okay and everything's fine, that like if I ever was really going through something, it's kind of like it's nothing, it's not a big deal at all, because I don't ever show it. It's like, how could you possibly be going through something because you're always happy? You know what I'm saying? It's like no one really believes that you're going through stuff because you're always putting on a like a Leo face. So like, I'm happy, I'm radiant face. Like, don't matter if it's the worst day of my life, if my best friend just died. That sounds really bad, but like, whatever, I'm still gonna wake up, I'm gonna put on a full face, I'm gonna put on a nice outfit, I'm still gonna go out there and live my life. I'm not gonna walk around mopey and sad and like with my hair all over the place. You know what I'm saying? And it's really hard because like I even like was, because you guys know I talk about like my dark truth, and I talk about the depressive mode as an Aquarius all the time. And someone commented on one of my videos and they're like, you always talk about how depressed you are, that's like, what's wrong with you? And I was like, I can't be sad sometimes. Like, why can't I be sad sometimes? Like, why can't I be depressed? Like, you know, and it's so annoying because it's like, I feel like sometimes I can't even talk about going through stuff or being not confident, because people are like, what do you have to like not be confident about? And it's just like, you don't even understand. Like, Leo rising, Scorpio fourth house, like, it's dark in here, you know what I'm saying? And it's just like, I wish I could, like, even like my friends, like I can't even sometimes talk to my friends about like going through stuff, because they're just like, what do you have to be sad about? You know, like everything, like your life looks fine to me, you know? And it's just like, it's annoying because it's like, you know, everyone, like, not everyone looks fine on the outside, because a lot of water signs and a lot of water risings or are like visibly display when they're upset or they're going through something because they're comfortable doing with that. But I guess as a fire rising or whatever like that, or even just having a Scorpio fourth house, it becomes a thing where it's just like you're making it look like everything's okay on the outside. And so like, it's like you can't ever show that you're not okay. But I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy. No, I'm not crazy. But it's just, I don't know. I've come to accept that like you just can't. And it sucks that I say like you can't share what you're going through with everyone. But like, it's just like, how do I become more self-aware and happy and just feeling free spirit, so my subconscious thoughts don't make me annoyed or get in the way of manifesting? I would recommend listening to my latest podcast, and I'm not saying that just to plug. I'm saying that because it really resonated with me, and I really told my story about how I came to accept my subconscious and stuff like that. And I think it's all about, one, it's all about accepting and knowing that everything happens for a reason. It's all about talking to yourself and accepting yourself. Rising and ascending is the same thing. The subconscious thing is like, also you have to there's so many things that I did. Like, I listened to Amber Khan because she taught me about cybernetic settings, and talked to me about like if you read the book Maxwell Maltz, he talks about cybernetic settings. It's basically the childhood. It basically talks about how things that happen in your childhood, like for example, if your mom or your dad like didn't really have money growing up or whatever, you didn't have money growing up in the household, so you felt like you couldn't get these things, or you didn't have enough money to get these things, or if you had a parent who like grew up telling you that you would never be good enough, or you could never be this, or you could never be that, you kind of carry that in your subconscious as like, you're never going to be good enough, or I can never get the things that I want because I can't afford it, just because that was the message that was programmed into you as a child. And so your subconscious starts to register that, and that becomes your settings, and it starts to be your thing as like, I'm not good enough, I'm not pretty enough, I'm not, because somebody may have told you that, or someone may have bullied you because of that. So your subconscious thinks that that's what you are, that's your settings, that's who you are. So you really have to take time to go in and reprogram yourself and start to tell yourself, you know, I do deserve nice things, or I can afford this, or I am pretty. You have to just do it for yourself. Because me, for example, like I said, I had like a single mom growing up, and so a lot of times, you know, I didn't, like, as an Aquarius, I'd say, or even as a Scorpio 4th house, I was just like, I'm not gonna ask my mom for things because I want her to have whatever she wants, and I don't want her to stress out because of me. So, and even when we go to stores, sometimes she wouldn't get the really expensive stuff or the snacks or different stuff like that, and I knew why, because Scorpio 4th house. But also, it was just kind of like a system of, even my mom, when she got different makeup and stuff like that, she'd be like, oh, I can't afford this, I can't afford the nice things. And it's not like she was saying that, it was like being subconsciously programmed in my face that you have to get the cheaper stuff because you can't have the nicer things. So even growing up, I found myself buying cheaper things. Like, even like growing up and having money, I start to buy cheaper things, the cheaper meat, the cheaper cheese, or saying like, oh, I'm too skinny because that's what someone bullied me about, or whatever like that. And so I had to wake up one day and realize, like, Haven, these are fears that I'm subconsciously manifesting in my life and making a reality for myself because I was programmed to think that way as a child. And it's like, I have money now, or even like I have my own job, so I'm not relying on my mother's money or whatever like that. So even then I would still buy cheap things, and it's like, why are you doing that? It's like, you're programmed, your subconscious thinks that way. So I had to go in and say, like, Haven, you want to buy Morphe eyelashes or whatever, then buy Morphe eyelashes. Haven, you think you're beautiful, or you want to be beautiful, you have to think that you're beautiful. Or like, Haven, like, you think you're not good enough to go to college, or you think you're not good enough to date this guy. That's only because someone was told that, because that's your programs, that you're setting. So you have to really take time out to reprogram yourself and say, you know what, why am I not buying the nicer things, or why am I not going after this guy, or why do I think this guy is out of my league, or that girl is out of my league? It's because you were programmed to think that way, because something happened in your childhood that made you think that way. And so as an adult, you have to really go in and say, well, I don't want that for my life. I don't want to be that way. I don't want to think I'm not good enough. And so you have to say, I am good enough. I can buy the more expensive things. I can afford that. You just have to tell yourself that and actually believe it. And that's all reality in life and manifesting is all about, is like changing your life by saying you do deserve and you can have, and whatever like that, and not allowing your past to kind of control you. So even your subconscious thoughts and manifesting and all this stuff like that is about you taking complete ownership for your life and saying, I'm not a kid anymore, my parents don't dictate this, or my household doesn't really, you know, affect me in a way, and so I can make my life a reality however I want to. So your question, you get annoyed or get in the way, or, you know, you want to be happy and more self-aware and more free spirit, the first thing is being aware of what's holding you back. And I talk about this in my podcast, and even becoming too aware. I think there's a limit, because I came a person who was like had so much social anxiety that I started to limit myself from doing things, and I became hyper aware of everything. And it's a balance of becoming aware of what's wrong or what's bad for you, or what you don't like about yourself, or what you were programmed, and changing that, but allowing yourself to become and be the person you want to be, but also not limiting yourself to only being that person. Because for me personally, I thought to love myself, to be confident, and to be happy is to always know who I am. And like, yes, it's important to know why you are the way that you are. Like, I can tell you right now, I stay home a lot because I was sheltered as a child, and I was taught at nighttime you need to be at home, you need to be in the bed. And so yeah, I know that about myself, but that doesn't mean I have to stay that person. I can say, okay, I was taught this way, I know why I'm this way, now I have to take that and change that into my own reality. So I can say, like, yeah, I was taught to stay home and do this all the time, but now that I'm older and I know why I think like this, now I can stay out late if I want to. You know, it's all about becoming the person you want to and knowing why, and then changing it, but not limiting yourself to only being one type of person. Like allowing yourself to transform constantly, and just being in love and getting to know your spirit and your soul, and knowing that like following your instincts, your emotions, and your heart is the only thing you kind of need to fall in love with and focus on more than anything, and just become aware of your past so that you can change your future, you know, or your present. Because if you get an intuitional feeling that like you're not okay, or that something feels wrong, or if you feel like your boyfriend's cheating on you or whatever, true love is following your soul's intuition and following and picking up on the red flags and stuff like that, and just not allowing those things to go over your head. Because once you allow your intuition to be ignored, you start to doubt yourself. That way you can't manifest. That way you can't focus and you can't believe in yourself. It's all about like knowing when something doesn't feel right, accepting that it doesn't feel right, and listening to yourself. That way you can manifest. I talked about this earlier. I should save this live. I'm gonna relook at it and see if I should resave it or put it back up. But that's what it's about. It's about trusting your emotions and your intuition. And if something doesn't feel right, acknowledging it, changing it, and then making your life whatever you want it to be from then on. What time is it? Que hora? Oh, people are talking to me. Damn, I've been on here for 2 hours. But yeah, does anyone have any more questions? I'm gonna finish my makeup. What are you guys talking about? I love that you guys are like becoming friends, like in the comments. I love that. How do I become more self-aware and just free spirit? Yeah, and spirited, so my subconscious thoughts don't make me annoyed. The first step is changing your subconscious thoughts. Hey, I was wondering, can you do the banana spray challenge? Yeah, I would never do that. I don't like to do things that are, you know, doesn't make sense to do. I don't like doing things that will purposely harm myself, because I love myself enough to know that it's bad. Oh, you watched the Nassim Haram thing. Yo, wait till you get to the part where he talks about crop circles and aliens. It will change your life. Yo, the Daily Mail or something like that, it was really like a scientific thing. They just posted an article talking about how they are just proved by his rules, by his method, by the things that he's talking about in that video, literally is like recognizing that the Newton's laws are false, like they're fake. And so literally, I'm gonna tell you guys this one thing. The first day of my astronomy class, the first lesson that my professor taught was about Occam's razor. Now, if the definition of Occam's razor that he dumbed it down to basically to tell us, to write in our notes just so we knew what it means, is like science goes by whatever is easiest to explain. So even like them saying the sun is the center of the universe or whatever like that, instead of the earth is the center of the universe, heliocentric versus geocentric, it's just because it's easier to explain. And so first day of astronomy class, I'm sitting in my like desk with my laptop and my computer thinking, you mean to tell me everything that we know about science is based upon Occam's razor because it's easier to explain it? Y'all don't care if it's true or if it's false. It's just easier to explain to society and to people, so that's what you're gonna go off of. And so once I heard that, I was like, that's dumb. That is really dumb. That is not right. So all the things that we're learning or we're programmed to learn or whatever like that, it's just because it's easier to explain to humans than the other thing. And so I'm just like, bro, like what? Like what do you mean? Like what do you I'm like, how is that? So literally I sent my professor the video of Nassim Haram's 8-hour lecture, and then literally, I kid you not, like a few months later, I don't know if you watched it or not, but then I found out that the Daily Mail or whatever like that, or whatever article posted about Nassim's thing, proving that Newton's laws were like false or whatever. And even the thing about Nikola Tesla and Thomas Edison, that's fucking wild to think about. My major is psychology and minor is philosophy. I want to be a pseudo-therapist when I grow up. And I think they have those, but I don't think there's like a societal name for it. Like it's not like a thing, but I want to make it a thing. I want to be the first pseudo therapist, but me saying it out loud now is probably other people gonna try to do it, which is fine. A major is something that they make you focus on and to restrict you to taking a certain amount of classes so that you learn a certain amount of things that qualify you for a certain type of degree. And it's really crazy because you spend all this money like sitting in all these different classes to get a degree for something that like half of the classes like you don't even need for your major. It doesn't even make sense for your major. It's like general education classes or classes that don't even make sense, and it's just like, why am I taking 4 foreign language classes when I'm a psychology major, when that has nothing to do with psychology, you know? And it's just like a waste of time and money. Like, shouldn't I be able to like take classes that have to do with my major but also take classes that I'm interested in if I'm paying for it? That's just how I feel. And then, you know, I don't know, you know, it's just whatever, I don't know, but whatever. My mom literally has been to college for like a long time, and literally she could have 3 different degrees right now if she would have went to her math classes, like if she would have passed her math. Like if she went back to college right now and took like 4 or 5 different math classes that she needed, she could have all her degrees. Thank you. Yeah. What is your prospective school time? My prospective school time, I don't know what you mean. I'm supposed to graduate in 2021, but honestly, you know, I don't want to say too much because you never know how things are going to play out. Well, but I don't know. I don't know. 2021 is like in 2 years from now, and I'm supposed to be done soon, but you know, it's about life and how life plays out, so we'll see. We'll see. I want to add a little blush because I'm gonna get sure. It's like I'm like a gypsy. Oh my god, that's another thing. I was obsessed with gypsies. I want to be a nomad when I grow up. I don't want to live anywhere. Like, I hate the fact that I live here. Like, I literally got this apartment. I moved into this apartment, my first apartment on my own, this summer, and I felt like because I bought this apartment or I rented this apartment or whatever like that, that I had to stay here because I like rented it. Like, I bought it basically. I'm just paying to live here, and so I felt like I had to live here, and I felt like that was so dumb and such a waste of my time when I could have been exploring and stuff like that. And I looked at my apartment as a place that I have to live in, but I should have just looked at it as a place to keep my stuff and a place to rest my head. What was the question? Oh. Aqua, Sun, Scorpio, Moon, Libra, Rising, Cancer, Midheaven, Capricorn, Stellium, Aquarius, Stellium, Aqua, 4th house. What does he tell you about myself? I'd say that you're pretty. Libra risings are mostly pretty. Very attractive, like naturally beautiful. Aqua, Sun, Scorpio, Moon, you are probably... You probably spend a lot of time alone, or you would rather be alone a lot, and you don't really trust people that much, but you have love for people, but you just kind of I'm reading you guys' comments. You probably, like, you know, don't trust people, but you love people in a way, and it's weird because you kind of want to be around people, but at the same time you don't, because it kind of probably disgusts you a little bit. And I'd say that can't comment on the PlayStation, so my brother was just here playing his PlayStation. I miss him already. I love my siblings. It's so weird. Like, life is so weird. Like, you know, you see life play out for other people, like when you're a kid, but you don't actually get to see how it plays out for yourself. And I guess this is just me being like hyper analytical or whatever, but I find life so interesting. And it's like you spend so much time in the same household as people, and you live with people or whatever like that, and you kind of know them, but you don't actually know them. And then when you get older, it's kind of like you guys are like different, like, but like you want to be around them now and you miss them, and it's weird. It's really weird to like be experiencing life after watching everyone else go through life for so long. Yeah, it's really weird. It's like you watch people get older, you watch your parents get older, you watch life happen, you watch your friends, you watch other adults get over, but actually experiencing it and living it for yourself and like being 20 and like realizing life changes and stuff like that is so weird. It's so weird to actually go through, because now I'm actually like hyper aware of the fact that I'm actually older and I'm actually going through things and like experiencing things, and it's just like, whoa, like I'm actually doing this thing. And it's like, it's odd, it's fascinating, but it's odd, it's a little scary to think about. And like sometimes I think about, I like get like, I have like panic attacks sometimes where I'm just thinking like, oh my god, I'm actually gonna die. And it gets really scary because it's like I'm actually living right now, and then one day I won't be living this life. And it's like, it's crazy. Yeah. And it's like when you're young, you don't even think about it. It's just kind of like, whatever. Yeah, dying to think about is really scary, and I try to not to think about it a lot. And then when I talk to other people about it, they're kind of just like, you know, whatever. But I'm just like, whatever, bitch. We really gonna die? Like, what do you mean, whatever? And they're just kind of like, well, there's nothing you can do about it. And I'm like, yeah, but like, like, you know, like it's kind of like freaky to think about, but like, I don't know. I feel like I said, I think that dying won't be so bad, because I feel like we kind of die already when we go to sleep, like when we dream. Like we talked about this earlier. If you guys were in here earlier, we talked about dreams and like the subconscious and how like your body, you know, stays here like it will when you die, but like your subconscious goes somewhere else. Like your soul goes somewhere else. Like when you dream, your soul and your subconscious goes somewhere else, but your body stays here. It just so happens that when you're dreaming, you wake up. And when you die, bitch, you don't come back. So it's kind of creepy and scary to think about, but it's also very true. And, you know, it's like there is absolutely nothing we can do about it. And we just have to accept that. But I don't think it'll be that bad. I hope it's not that bad. But also I think about, listen, we go to sleep on our own, we dream on our own, we're gonna die on our own, so like, and then, you know, you have to think about how everyone experiences everything on their own, so you wonder, like, when we die, do we actually all end up together? Because everyone's having their own experience, but everyone's having the same experience. So when it's all over, are we all still having the same experience, or are we all separated by our own experiences? I don't know. I like to think about everything. You know, I'm pretty sure there's like a fact or something like that about how like everything's okay or whatever, but I think it's really fun to think about everything. And like just be real with the fact like that the only people who actually know what's happening. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Let's stop talking about dying. Let's talk about my Jaclyn Hill palette. This should be the thumbnail. My Jaclyn Hill palette doesn't have any mole in it, that I know of. I've had it for like a few times. How much was that? I think it was about like $32 or something like that, or $34. You guys know. Yeah, and I also have the Box of Crayons palette by Superwoman, and it's so fun to like support her because she's from Louisiana, and I watched her on Vine, and to see her like, you know, make her own brand is so fun. I love supporting people. Like, it's so fun. Like, I love when my friends like tell me about stuff, and then I see them actually doing it and achieving their goals and doing their dreams and stuff like that. I'm just like, yes, queen, I love supporting people. Like, I'm never that friend who's like mad about someone prospering. I'm always about like, yes, like I'm so happy to see you do better and achieve things. Even my friends, like I have friends that in like freshman year, they were like, I swear I'm straight, you know, like I swear I don't like guys or whatever like that, or girls or whatever. and then like to see them like grow up and be like, yes, well, I'm honest with myself now, I'm bisexual, or I like guys, whatever. I'm just like, yes, queen. And not even to like be like, you know, yes, queen, but like just to like support people and watch them grow is so fun. It's just like, yay, I get to experience a part of your experience because I watched you or I was around you while you were going through things. And it's so fun. Like, I just love supporting things. Like, I wish more of my friends would tell me, like, when they're, like, shooting for stuff and, like, striving for stuff. But also understand in a way that you can't really, like, tell everybody your moves because, like, what if they don't happen and stuff like that. It's kind of, like, a downer. But I just love supporting people. It's like a highlight of my life to, like, see people achieve the things that they want. I don't know why. I need to text my friends back. But does anyone have any questions? Because if not, then we're gonna end Saturday's live. Yeah, and I don't honestly get, like, I've never met somebody who I was like super jealous of or didn't want them to do well in life. I'm just like, yes, do well, excel. You know, I don't get that. I don't get it. I want to see what this lash looks like on me. Wow. Do you guys see what lashes do? Like, oh my god, I am a supermodel. Oh my god, I am cleaning the house. Don't talk to me. Hi, how are you? You know. But I have to put glue on here, and my tweezers are actually holding my phone straight, so I don't think lashes are gonna go on while we're on live. But do you see what I mean? I still have to do eyeliner. I miss doing all the things that make me happy. And that's what my Scorpio grandmother taught me. She was like telling me for so long, like, Haven, what makes you happy? What makes you happy? What makes you happy? Like, what do you do for yourself that makes you happy? And it's like, I enjoy stuff like this. I enjoy talking to people. Thank you. Does anybody have any questions? You guys know, last time I did my makeup on live, it was fine, but I always be wonky with the eyeliner. Thank you. You guys are so nice to me. You guys are... Oh, I love you. I had an idea about some type of podcast that I wanted to... You know what I really fuck with? I fuck with the people who, like... Because, like, let me tell you guys about me. If you don't know me that well, like, if you're new to me, basically, I've been on YouTube for, like, a long time, like, since I was a kid. And I mean, like, kid, since I mean, like, 2009, like, when I was, like, 10. And so, basically, all my videos are kind of, like, me going through, like, different like, phases in life. Like, I know that one time I was going through like the beauty guru phase where I wanted to be a beauty guru and a fashion guru, and there was a phase where I was into like reaction videos and I made all reaction videos, and there was a phase where I was like kind of into astrology but swore I would never really get into astrology phase, and there was a phase where I was like wanted to be a poet and like talk about art and draw and stuff like that, and I did that. And so now I'm in a phase where I'm like really into and I went through a pranking phase as well, and it's just so fun to like have people like kind of see me through different phases of my life and still fuck with me. And it's just like not just for like the content that I'm producing, but just like because they fuck with me. And it's like I love that so much because it's like we're like friends, because you like see me grow and like you guys are here with me, and I feel like you guys are my friends. And I want to like, yo, what if actually he was African. He was from Africa, and I kind of miss him. I kind of want to do a video with him now. He was just here. He like moved to like a different state or something for college, but he just came back. And yeah, he's still black, but like Africans don't like to be called black because they feel like it's like a thing, like an American thing. They like to be called African, and so that's why I said he was African, not black. But I mean, I guess in hindsight, yes, he is black. But I miss him, and I want to do a video with him, like an update, like a year later or 2 years later video with him, and be like, hey, yo, how are you? How is life? and stuff like that. So I think I might text him and see if he wants to come in town. I might go to New York and like see him because I need to go to New York anyways. But I want to like take you guys with me wherever I go. Like, you guys have seen me like in middle school and high school and now in college, and that's so awesome. I love that. I love it. And like, even though I don't like talk about being in middle school and like high school, you just kind of know like I'm 13 right now and I'm going through a phase. What if I did freckles? Because I'm just bored right now. Like, I honestly don't have like, I have stuff to do, but like, I really don't want to. I did kind of have him in his feels. My mom and my like auntie and like my grandmother all watched that video, and she was like, they were like, that guy's in love with you, like you're gonna end up marrying him. And I'm like, no, it's not like that. But I'm like, you never know what's gonna happen. Also, people have this tendency to believe that I only like white guys, and I must say, I am insulted. I like all races. How do people like, and I'm not insulted because it's like white guys. I'd be insulted if people would say I'd only date one race, because I'm so more multi-dimensional than that. That's so surface level to say like, oh, you would only date this type of person or that type of person, because what? That's crazy. I have a preference on personality, not on skin color. Like what? Like what? I prefer people who are smart and interesting and fascinating, not people who run color. Ava, try some. I would date an Asian guy. There was this Asian guy in middle school that I liked so much, but I never talked to him because I don't know why. No, I love, what are you doing? What are you doing? I don't know. I've been into all races. I like, even, this is hard for me to explain, but like, I feel like as an Aquarius Venus, I fall in love with people's personalities and people's, who they are, more than their physical appearance, if anything. Like, there's this guy, he's a Scorpio, and I have to say, he is the average Joe. Like, he looks like a typical boy. Like, there's nothing like eccentric about him. It's not like he's some wild, you know, out of the way, like special features type of guy. He just looks like a regular guy, like the typical guy, you know. And I am just fascinated by him. Like, I'm so intrigued by him. And in a way, he doesn't think, like, he's told me this before, he thinks that I'm out of his league, and like, he's like, why do you like me, or why are you interested in me? And it's just like, I like who you are as a person, you know. It doesn't have anything to do with like what you look like or your job or anything like that. I just admire who you are as a person, and he like can't grasp that concept for some reason, and so we're not together for that reason. But I mean, it kind of sucks because I'm like, what the fuck you mean, bro? I just like you. I like your personality. What is your advice to a Cap Sun, Pisces Moon, Aries rising? Me, by the way. Girl. Also, I have Aqua Venus too. Cap Sun, Pisces Moon, Aries rising. Cap Sun, Pisces Moon. Cap Sun, Pisces Moon, Cap Sun, Pisces Moon. I would say or that you work or you study, or that you get involved with things that are like progressive and make your life better. And I recommend that you keep on doing that, and that if you don't do that already, I think that it'll be extremely beneficial for you, and that it'll help you 10 times better cope with whatever feelings that you're going through, because it'll really like make you feel like you're doing something with your time instead of being upset. Hey, how do women, white guys, when they first meet, just buy them personally? What? I don't even know what you're saying, bro. How do women, white guys, when they first meet, just buy the personality and don't pay attention to the fact, like, the other personality? You cheat on me, I'm sad. I feel like You and Madison Beer would be best friends. Froze. I'm hungry. Did I hear something? And I look like a snack. I feel like you and Madison. I'm so confused. What's going on? I did not cheat. What are you talking about? A whole banana. Thank you. I personally, I don't know. A lot of people, like, I've talked to guys about this, and they say all they care about is the physical, and then they care about the personality, and I'm just like, it's not like that for me. Like, I'm not like that, yo. Like, I don't give a fuck if you look like a fucking mole rat. If you're, like, an amazing person, and, like, you're just, you know, I'm so into you. Your hair is pretty, thank you. It's just kind of like in a situation right now, and you know, it's about to get attacked as soon as this live goes off because I'm going out tonight, feeling alright. Why do women find guys' personality attractive? Because I think more than anything, women look for guys who are going, like, biologically, like, mentally, women look for guys who are going to be a good dad. You know what I'm saying? Who are going to, like, take care of their kids and be, like, not abandon their kids, if anything. So I think personality means a lot more than some women. I wouldn't say all women, but a lot of women, because they look for someone who's going to be good companion to their father or to their children and, like, align with their kids or whoever. You know what I'm saying? And for guys, I think that in essence, I don't think they really think about someone who's gonna be a good mom to their, like, maybe some guys do, but I think more it's about, like, the biological, like, are you going to be able to produce, like, physically the kids that, like, I don't know, I'm just making shit up, but, like, I don't know. Yeah, nature's instinctively, guys are looking for women who look more, I don't really know. I'm making shit up. Honestly, I don't like talking about shit I don't know shit about, and I'm talking about shit I don't know shit about. You're very intellectual, and my fears just shifted into research and learning on all of this. Yes, and if you want to know why the hell that I'm so intellectual and did a lot of research at a young age, go listen to my podcast called Social Anxiety Morph. It's the shadow side. It talks about how did I get to this point at such a young age? Because I was socially annihilated. Somebody killed me socially at a young age, so I conformed at a young age, and instead of being miserable, I looked into astrology and research and was interested in psychology and all these things. I was fascinated by the internet and my own experiences, and so I spent my childhood or young age while everyone was out partying and having fun and hanging out with their friends and going to parties that I wasn't invited to. I was alone online researching astrology and psychological stuff and weird shit. So yeah, that's how I spent my high school life instead of partying alone. How do I get out of the friend zone? You get out of the friend zone by telling them you want them. Honestly. This is so serious. This is me being serious. Honestly, honey, you just tell them that you want to be with them, because honestly, you holding your peace is not helping nobody. Like, honestly, you know what? Do what you gotta do to get in the right mindset to tell this person you want to be with them. Because if not, you're gonna spend your whole life miserable thinking about what ifs and buts and candy nuts. And we don't like ifs and buts or candy nuts. We like real. No, like, honestly, just tell them how you feel. I don't care if somebody's married. I don't care if somebody's in a relationship. I don't care if somebody just got a divorce. If you like somebody, tell them, and then leave it up to them to decide how they want to execute that. How do they want to deal with that, you know? Because ultimately it's not your decision to end their relationship, it's theirs. It's not your decision to ruin your relationship, and you telling someone you like them is not you ruining the relationship, it's not you ruining the friendship, it's you giving them another option. Any advice for a Sagittarius? I have a strong spot in my heart for Sagittariuses, but aren't you in the friend zone for a reason? I feel like, yeah, people don't like getting rejected, but like if you're letting fear hold you back from something, you've already been rejected. So like, why even keep thinking about it? You know, if you're just gonna let fear keep you from doing things that you want to do anyways, then why keep bringing it up, you know? Like, you've already lost, and so you're afraid of actually what'll happen if you tell her, because maybe y'all could be together, maybe you could not, maybe you can know for sure. I know a lot of times it's scary to know for sure the answer. There's like some people, no, that's a crazy example, I'm not gonna go there. I'm not gonna go there, but like, it's scary sometimes to know the real answer to things, but it helps you move on in life. Like, for instance, say you think you might be pregnant, right? And so you're scared to pee on the stick because it's going to tell you, yes, you are pregnant, or no, you're not pregnant, right? So what are you going to do? You're going to just like pretend like you're not pregnant, pretend like you don't like the girl? No, you should pee on the stick and then look at it and be like, oh shit, I'm actually am pregnant, or oh shit, I'm actually not pregnant. And so then you can move on with life. You know what I'm saying? I don't like just be real. Like, just pull the trigger. Like, do the thing. Like, or you'll never know, and you'll always be miserable, and you'll always be thinking, what if? And what ifs are so annoying. I hate what ifs. I hate what ifs. What ifs are so annoying. No, don't pretend. If she treasured as much as you did, then you don't need to worry about it. You know, sometimes, well, okay, if you tell her, you say you'll lose your friendship with her, but you're also losing out. Like, honestly, if this person still wants to be your friend, if this person still wants you in their life, them telling you that they like you will not change anything. Because I've had guys who are my friends that tell me they like me, and I don't feel the same way back, and I honestly tell them, listen, I don't feel the same way back, and I still like them. If I still care about them as a person, we're still friends. I have like 3 guy friends that I can name right now on the top of my head that I'm still friends with them, even after they confess to me that they liked me. And it's like, I want to be their friend. I still care about them as a person. I like having them around. I like our friendship. So I'm not going to end our friendship just because I don't like them back. I tell them, hey, I don't want to ruin our friendship. I like how we are as friends. And so let's just continue to be friends. You know, them confessing their love for me or whatever like that doesn't mean the friendship is over. It just means that now they know that I don't want them back, and now I can help them get a girlfriend or get a boyfriend, or and 9 times out of 10, if I'm being real, what happens is, you tell the girl that you like her, and then she goes, I don't like you back, and so then you move on, you get a girlfriend or a boyfriend, and then now she's jealous and she realized that she actually wants you, so now she tries to be with you. It's, you know what I'm saying? It's like, you gotta be real, you gotta be true to yourself more than anything. If you lose the friendship, fuck, oh well, you'll find another one. You know what I'm saying? It's so much better to be in tune with yourself and what you want, and now not allow yourself to be restricted based upon other people. And I know it's hard, and it's probably way easier said than done, but honestly, like, you're holding yourself back from growing and progressing in life if you decide to not tell this person. And I know it's so annoying, and I hate that I'm telling you like the ugly truth, and you probably hate it, but that's the truth. And I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm an Aquarius. What do you expect? You know, I'm being annoying right now, but it's fine. I'm being real with you, and like, you can be mad at me if you want to, but I'm telling you the truth, and I can sleep well at night knowing I told you the truth. You guys are seeing all the signs of me, all the placements. You're seeing the Libra Mars, the Aquarius Sun, Leo Rising, all the things. You guys are getting to know me really well. I wonder if I should put on this thing. Oops, just a little. I think I went overboard the other night when I did my makeup and I put this on and it was like everywhere, and I had glitter face, but I kind of liked it. The boys liked it. Oh my goodness, I think I went overboard again. But I'm like an Instagram model, you know, so tell me more. Tell you more about what? Ow! Poke myself in the eye. You guys were a witness to that. What were you talking about? Where am I from? I'm from Louisiana. Bitch, I'm from Louisiana. I'm from Louisiana. Bitch, I'm from Louisiana. You can boot. Tell me more about me. I don't know, man. You gotta do your research on me. Listen to my podcast, watch my videos, look at my second and third channel because I have those, which are embarrassing, but I'm not going to take them down because those are me at a certain point in my life, and who am I to erase the history of Haiva? You know, I don't understand what, I guess I understand why people do that for like professionalism, but I mean, if I have videos of me opening Christmas presents in like 2012, then I'm going to leave that up. I think that's iconic. You know, who else gets to look back on their life, actual footage, and gets to see them opening Christmas presents in 2012? Like, nobody. And who else gets to look at them being 13, thinking that they could sing and can't really sing, but, like, having it online? I think that's really cool. And so, like, yeah, it could be embarrassing, and people did try to tease me about it, but, like, you can't look at yourself at 12 years old online, so who's cool, me or you? Fuck those kids who made fun of me. Fuck them, all of them. You miserable people. You're just jealous. You know, you have to laugh at yourself, because if you don't, then you'll cry. You have to laugh so that you don't cry. You know how I found your channel? I was looking at Life Path 30 and I just felt you were so relatable. Really? You thought I was relatable? Well, that makes me happy. I stay the closest to her. I want to meet you people, all of you. I want to go everywhere. I want to travel to every state and like meet you guys. Like I want to hang out with you guys because I literally have no friends. Yes, I go to LSU, but like if you see me at LSU, the thing about it is I'm not really friendly if I don't know you. You know, like and it sounds horrible, but like listen, you guys know me, and like I don't know you face to face. Like I don't know who you look like. I don't know what you look like. So if you come like, and usually I'm like this with guys mostly. I have an attitude most likely if guys come up to me, because I'm just like, what are you doing? You're invading my space. Scorpio 4th house. You have to respect the Scorpio 4th house. So like if I see you, you kind of have to like ease your way my way and like casually bump into me. You can't just be like, oh my god, that's you. Hey, I watch your YouTube. I'd be like, what? You have to tell me. You have to like ease your way up to me. I have to like see you seeing me, and then I have to be like, oh, hi, hey. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, I'm not an asshole, but like I have a personal space issue, and I'm just kind of like scared all the time because I was sheltered. And like that's not an excuse, but that's the excuse I'm giving. So like if you ever see me, especially at school, and I usually am very upset when I'm at school because like I'd rather be at home like making YouTube videos. Not really, I'm just kidding. But like I have a lot going on in my head, and so you just have to like let me know that you're approaching me so that I can be on the same page, because I'm not on the same page a lot of times with other people. I'm just like, what's going on? I didn't really expect this to happen, but okay, it's happening. But I like the unexpected. Yeah, like make eye contact with me and squint and like give me a look, and I'm like, oh, okay. Like I think we should have like a code situation. Like if you ever see me, like maybe blink with like the left eye. So that I'm like knowing, like just the left eye, like maybe 3 times in the left eye, to like let me know that, you know, you're in the Aqua tribe. And so I cannot be scared, because it's a scary world out here, you know. It's scary. People be like pulling up on people and stuff like that. It's weird. So like maybe look at me, blink 3 times in the left eye, and then we're golden. Hand her a band-aid. Hand her a band. You can hand me a band-aid, you know, something that we could coordinate, you know, because I'm scared all the time. I am a 3rd year, so I'm a junior now. I believe that's what my paperwork says. I hope that's what my paperwork says because I've been here for 3 years. But do you see how mad I get? So are you in January or February? I am a January Aquarius. 22nd, baby. I have to keep track of the time because I have to go out. You know what? If you guys follow me on Instagram, while I'm out, I might go live on Instagram so you guys can see what I do when I'm out. I probably won't go on YouTube live because it's like, I may go on YouTube live, but I think it uses a lot more of my data. But I may go live on Instagram while I'm out with my friends so you guys can see what I do when I go out. Would you guys be interested in that, or am I just crazy? How's the full moon gonna play out? I'm excited. I love when there's like a full moon situation because literally my apartment faces like, I don't know what part of the sky it faces. I'm about to say some bullshit. But like literally the moon usually, like I'm in bed, like in my bed, and I look up out of my window because I don't have curtains because like I don't have anybody to help me hang curtains. So that's sad. But literally the moon like stares at me through my window, and I go, okay bitch, you want attention? So like I go out on my balcony and I go look at the moon, and so then I like talk to it, not talk to it, but like I set my intentions, I acknowledge the fact that the moon is there, and then like I go back in my room and then it kind of disappears, which is weird. I feel like if any normal person who like wasn't like here like watched me, they think I'm crazy, but like you guys know. You guys know. I'm not crazy. I'm just in tuned, and like no one else is in tune, so they don't understand. I wonder who watches my thank you. All these people want to help me hang curtains. You guys are so nice. I just need people to help me with things in life because I'm a loner, I'm alone. I'm not. How do you know when you are in tuned? I think that you know when you're in tune, when you can really trust your intuitions, when you can easily manifest things, when you get signs and signals from the universe. I think even when I was uploading my podcast that I was really scared about uploading, as it like hit 100% on like Anchor as I was uploading, I saw 333 and I was just like, oh, okay, I'm doing a good thing here, you know? I started to see a lot of like triple numbers and stuff like that, and so it was really good. It was really fun. I thought about my grandfather because there was a time where like my grandfather passed away like last year in 2000, I think 17. It was like my freshman year of high school, not high school, of college, and he passed away. And I like, he was old, like he was like 83. I knew he was passing away. He was like in a nursing home, and it was just like a matter of when. And like every time I go there, I try to like be really nice and like really like upbeat and stuff like that. And he was like, I don't even know what his sign is, but I would like try to go there and be like really nice and upbeat, but he was like a realist. Like he was like, stop treating me like I'm like about to die, you know, stop being super nice to me because like I'm about to die type situation. So he was kind of like annoyed that I'd be like really like happy, but I'm like, yo, what do you want me to do? Like be mean to you, you know? I'm not gonna do that. And so like I kind of accepted the fact that he was gonna pass away, so I would always try to be really happy and really nice. And so literally when I started to really get more into astrology and start to look into like tarot and stuff like that, I started having really vivid dreams about my grandfather, and then he started like showing up in my dreams like repeatedly, and then I started to like see 444 a lot, and marine biologist. I don't like the ocean. I like going to the beach, but like I'm not trying to dive up in the waters and have something that I didn't know exists get to know me, because listen, there's a reason why I'm on land and I'm the water bearer and not a water sign, so, you know. No, but like, I'm hearing dogs. What was I talking about? Oh, I kept seeing like not 330, I kept seeing 444, like 444 everywhere. And so when I looked it up and like the numbers, I find out that that it meant like someone's trying to send you a message. And so I kept having dreams about my grandfather, and he kept trying to give me warnings to like tell my brother something, and so he did. And then he kind of like stopped showing up in my dreams, which was kind of sad because I kind of liked it. But I'm 20 years old. Yeah, I think you get a feeling. Kind of like, I think it's like when all worry stops. Like, I don't worry about things a lot anymore. I'm just kind of like, you know, I get into like, even like one time I was really stressed out about like how I was gonna like pay for something. And like me, if you know me, I could give a shit less about money, and I really hate that I'm like, no, I don't hate that I'm like that, but it's just like I know that I'm like that. Like, I'll get money or like from like my job or from YouTube or whatever like that, and I'll like go buy all my friends dinner or something like that, and like not be getting paid until like a month later. And like I just don't stress about money, and I probably should, because like I have bills to pay and stuff like that. But I'm just kind of like a giving person, because I believe in like, you give to others, it'll come back to you. And so like even like this past month, I was like worried about how I was gonna pay for something. And so I just kind of got into a mode of like, okay, I'm gonna prepare for the worst, I'm gonna go and make sure all these things, but I'm not ever gonna stress out or cry about how is something gonna happen. I'm kind of just so like relaxed and okay with the universe to know that everything happens for a reason. So like, if I don't have the money to pay for this and then this thing happens, then it's kind of just like, that's just how it's supposed to play out. I don't stress or cry or to worry about things anymore. It's just kind of like, I know that like I'm kind of taken care of and protected, and everything's gonna be okay. That I don't really stress about it, you know. So that's how I kind of feel. Mine passed not too long ago as well, and I wanted him to show up, and I'm not having much of dreams. That's the thing about like wanting people to show up. It's kind of about like, when you want things to happen, you kind of like project you project an energy out there, like I need this, I need this, I need this, I want this, and it's kind of like nagging the universe. So I found that like when you really want something, you have to be at peace with the fact that you don't have it, and then allow it to come to you. Like relationships and love and all that stuff like that, it's the same type of thing. Like when you want something so bad, you kind of like you know, kind of put an energy out there. You know, you have to just allow things to come to you. Because like the more I wanted my grandfather to show up, and I wanted to see him more and more in my dreams, the more he like didn't show up. And so when I rested and I was like, okay, fine, you know, you'll come when you whatever want, that's when he started to show up. So yes, that's how I just deal with stress in life. It's just I don't stress too much about things, because I feel like everything happens for a reason. But if anybody has any more questions, we're gonna talk about your questions. But I don't really have anything else to talk about. I'm all talked out. Oh, I'm wondering if I should do eyeliner on the bottom. I'm kind of liking this light and fluffy look, but something in me, I think it's my Aries moon, is telling me to what's my skincare routine? Oh, I'm so excited to talk about this. So I have been using the same face wash for forever. Okay, if you guys go, okay, I have a video up on my channel, and it's a long video. I think it's like 26 minutes, but the first kind of like 30 minutes of it is me talking about this Radiant Spin Care Brush System that I got from Devolve, and I also have a coupon code on that video to give you guys a percentage off. I use the Spin Care Brush System. I don't use towels anymore. I don't even use towels ever. I think towels are disgusting. I don't use towels. You will, like, if you find a towel in my house, it's usually to like clean up something that's spilled, but you don't see towels going on my body. I don't use towels. I use brushes, and brushes are really sketchy too, but you have to make sure that you always clean them and you like switch them out, you know. But it's called the Radiant Spin Care Brush System. I'm sponsored or whatever like that, but they didn't pay me. They just gave it to me for free. But I absolutely love it. They sent me one my freshman year of high school. I mean, not high school, college. And then they sent it to me again, so I have two. But I use the brush, and I use the same face wash that I've been using for forever. And it's called the, what is it fucking called? And I don't even have it in my bathroom, but it's like, it doesn't have any beads in it or anything. It's just like, it's just kind of like a liquid situation, and I just scrub my face on it. I do like the brush, and then I exfoliate with it, because I find if I don't exfoliate, my face gets really cakey and disgusting. And so after I do that, I use this. This will change your fucking life, bro. I wish somebody reach out. Did you see my Leo rising coming up for a second? Okay, this rose water and glycerin, Amber Khan put me onto this shit. Screenshot it. Listen, Amazon, literally, it's like a moisturizer type situation. I don't know what it is or what it does, but you can spray it on your face and your body. And literally, I didn't use this before, and like I've fairly my whole life had good skin. I usually get I'm trying to say pimples and bumps at the same time on my chin, but like since I've been like doing the face wash thing and like scrubbing the face and stuff like that, and then I spray this on my face, porcelain skin. I don't know what the fuck is in this stuff, but it's amazing. And literally, I even now, yes, I will show it again. I get everything from Amazon. Literally, I literally had I had a weak moment. It was the hurricane season. I bought a bunch of snacks, and so I was like laying in bed like eating my snacks during the hurricane. And so literally I like ate like a box of honey buns, like a whole box of, I was disgusting. I ate a whole box of honey buns. I ate Cheez-Its, I ate Gushers, like just being purely disgusting, because like I don't eat that stuff like ever. So I was like, ooh, hurricane, like let me whatever. So I ate a bunch of snacks. Then the following week, you guys, it was pimple city. I was breaking out. It was disgust. I was so appalled, and I was more appalled because I don't really break out like that. And I understand if you like you have acne prone skin and like that's the regular for you. It's kind of like expected. Like, yeah, I break out like that. But I was like, oh, like something's wrong. Like, whatever. But like I started to use this. I did the scrub and stuff like that, and then I spray this. I find that it's really bad. My dad taught me this at a young age, to don't pick your pimples. No matter how much you just want to just pop those babies, don't do it, because they leave dark spots. So yes, that's my secret. That's my skincare. So that's literally all I do. I use this like all the time, and then I do the skincare brush system, no towels, because towels collect bacteria and I just think it's nasty. They get wet and then it's just So yeah, that's what I do. I even use like a skincare. I have two now because I got one when I was a freshman, and like I have one now. I got one my junior year, my senior year, my sophomore year. So I use the big brush for the shower to like scrub my body, and then I use the small one for the face and exfoliating. But I don't like, the thing about people is like they think that you get the exfoliators ones with the beads in it, like the face wash with the beads in it, because you think like it'll do whatever. But I find that the exfoliators that you buy like from the store that has the beads in it, they literally like tear your skin. So I always get the soft, smooth, like even Claricel or Cetaphil, I don't know how you say it, but it's like the soft, smooth, gentle face cleanser will do you the best. At least from my experience. I find that the ones with the beads in it and all that stuff like that, the natural, they like tear your skin. So soft, smooth stuff, go on your face, scrub it, exfoliate like that, and then like spray their face, air dry or pat dry with a paper towel, and move on with your life. That's what I do for my skin. What else? Any other questions? How was college welcome week as a freshman? Oh my god. College welcome week as a freshman was so fun. Cause even me, like being a kid who was like sheltered a lot, I was just so excited to like meet friends, have fun, like do different things. There were so many different activities. Like you were never bored. Like literally you could leave your dorm room and there was always something going on. I met people who I'm like not, like, the thing about being a freshman, well, at least for me, I don't know, because I lived in a dorm that was like tailored to people in my major, so like I was kind of forced to kind of be friends with the people I lived around because they were in the same classes as me and I lived near them. So freshman year for me was like kind of like just hanging out with people because you were next to them or you were around it's not that you like really like them or you want to be their friend. I mean, you could like them or you like, but it's like you get used to hanging around these certain amount of people because they're in your class, they live next to you, whatever. And so it's kind of like you're just, you know, it's like fun. I don't know why I brought that up. It's just like you're fun, you're hanging out with people. But like I learned that as college, like as you go on to college, you start to actually be friends with people who you actually want to be friends with, and you meet friends that you actually have stuff in common with, and you get closer to those people. But freshman year, just kind of just like friends with people who you're around because they're around, you know. And then you'll slowly start to like pick and choose your friends based upon stuff you have in common and stuff. But that's why, literally, okay, for any of you guys who are going to college soon, I would recommend, because I wish I would have did this, and I still wish I need to do this, but I just don't make time to do this. The first thing you should do is grab your gal pals, and if you don't have a gal pal, grab your roommate or your suite mate or something like that. And the first thing you should do is literally just go on like a search or like a scavenger hunt. Go to all the buildings, every building you see on college, knock on the door, like try to open it, go look around, literally just explore, because I didn't even know where like the building was for my new major. So like I would just start to explore every building, do like be on a scavenger hunt, just go look around, because you'll never know, you might find like a building that a club, an organization that you didn't know existed. You might find like a professor who like might be your mentor. Literally just go knock around, like look around, maybe try to find like classes or buildings that you're interested in, and just go look and just say hi, just stop in and say hi, I'm a freshman, I just was exploring, I just wanted to see. They love that. And also another thing that I would recommend you do, and I saw the love of my life do this when the first time I ever saw him, which is annoying because I'm just being facetious, but when you go to your class, your first day of class, I would recommend, if your professor isn't already if the professor is already in the room, they're up at the front, I would recommend just going up to them and say, hi, I'm so-and-so, nice to meet you. And then just go sit down, like just go introduce yourself. And then I say get to know your professors, try to talk to them a lot, email them a lot, even if it's just for any little thing, and like say sorry a lot, maybe if you email them a lot, just because it's just like funny, because you're just like, you know, sorry, I don't mean to bother you, and they're just like, no, it's fine, or whatever like that, or that's what I'm here for. I just say email your professors, talk to them a lot, and all that stuff like that, because they love that stuff. And honestly, if you like do bad in the class and you've been emailing your professor like throughout the whole semester, they'll go, okay, like I recognize your email, or you came to my office hours a lot, and I can really tell you were trying to learn the material, so I'm gonna give you extra credit here or there or there. Like, you don't know how many times that saved me in like classes where like I could have like had like a B-, but they like gave me an A because I talked to them a lot, or I got to know them, or I let them know I was really interested in the work. So I think that that's really important. Also, I would say, like, there's a lot of resources at school for like you to have tutoring, or you to like, you know, print stuff, or just like even if you have trouble like understanding stuff, there's a lot of resources for you to like get help. And the thing about college is no one really tells you, hey, they have this here, hey, they have that here, you can get a counselor or a therapist here or there. No one really tells you stuff. You kind of just have to figure things out for yourself. You have to find things out for yourself. It's not like high school where they're gonna be like, oh, go here and there's this. Like, they might pass out a paper with like a millions of things on it, but like, who are you really gonna read the paper? Probably not. So it's really cool for you to like research and go find stuff. Like, college is all about finding stuff. And so literally, like, you might like be struggling in math class, but like you might not know that there's like a math tutoring center in the library. And so like if you fail your math test, the math professor will be like, oh, well, you should have went to the math tutoring in the library. And you're like, no one told me there was a math tutoring in the library. But you just have to like find stuff on your own. So that's why I say it's important to like go on a scavenger hunt and like research the building, and like go to all different types of areas in your college, because you'll never know what you'll find. And you'll never know, like, you might find a professor or like another student who like took the class before and is just really excited to help people, because everyone's excited about you going to college. Everyone's excited about the youth and like learning, so they're always super excited about helping people. So I would recommend, 10 times recommend, just exploring. Be explorative. What time is it? Oh my god, it's almost 9 o'clock. Are we still here? Guys, I love you guys. So some of you guys said you want me to go live while I'm out. Is that still a thing? Oh my god, thank you for being up. Like, it's 3 a.m. I'm so sad. Like, I'm so sad. I feel so, like, bad for, like, taking up your time. So, guys, I am going to get ready. I'm going to text all my friends back who've been trying to text me, because I texted them because I'm trying to make plans. There is a potential that I will go live either on here while I'm out or on Instagram. Just because I want to show you guys what I'm doing. I think it'll be funny for you guys to see my Aries moon and Leo rising. I may do YouTube. I know a lot of people fuck with me on YouTube, which you guys need to get Instagram for me. Get Instagram for me so you guys can follow me. It's the same thing as my YouTube, just no spaces. It's Haiva, no spaces. So, follow me. Please tell all your friends to follow me, because you guys should love me. Because I think it's really fucked up. Like, gonna be real for a second. How do I have 34,000 on YouTube, but like not on Instagram? Like, do you guys not want to see my pictures, or like what's going on, like what's good, you know? Like, it's kind of like embarrassing. No, I'm kidding. I'm totally kidding. I totally get it. Like, it's 2 different platforms. I don't talk about the same things as I talk about, you know, whatever. It's no hard feelings. I get it. But yes, I might let you guys see my Leo rising tonight, and my Aries moon tonight. So follow me on Instagram at Haiva. There, I always answer your DMs if you're like saying something, you know, like not if you're just like hi and like not really saying anything. Like, maybe I might reply sometimes, but like, I don't know. Just like, if you like text me like, Ava, I have a problem, then I'm like, okay, let's talk about it. Like, let's figure it out. So DM me if you have problems. Rising is your ascendant. It's like what people perceive you as. I'm just really upset that there's like 11 people in here like weirdly watching me, but not everyone is talking, and I find that so weird. Like, who are you watching me? Why? Why are you not speaking? Like, who are you? Like, I always wonder. And also, you know what's really weird? I find that people save my pictures to a collection on Instagram, and I'm just like, who are you? And why are you saving my picture to your collection? Like, what are you? I'm confused, because I want to know why. Like, I don't know. But whatever. I have to go. I said that for a long time. Yeah, strange vibes tonight. I don't know what. I gotta figure out where the sun and moon is and all that stuff like that. So you have to deal with that. Deal with what? I mean, it's not like I'm oppressed because I'm like, people are saving my shit. I'm like, I think it's pretty cool. I just want to know who you are and why. I'm just very curious. But like I said, I gotta go. And here's the magic juice. If you want it, get it. It'll change your life. And that's the tea. I normally don't share secrets, but I did with you guys because I fuck with you guys. Well, I'm always on here for a long time. But bye.